Oh, I literally didn't bring. I literally didn't bring the thing I was supposed to bring. Well, that's great. That's my fault there. Well, that's time to do. Taffy, what's up? Just mentally preparing myself now. Oh my god. Good evening, good evening. I'm a little late, but I forgot I literally had a bin of equipment and I brought the wrong bin. And I'm just like, damn it. We're gonna get started tonight here. Good morning. Rat Demon TV, what's going on? Good evening, guys. Good evening. Get started here in a second. Well, I mean, we're here. I'm gonna brace myself for TikTok. I gotta learn from yesterday. I was not prepared for what happened yesterday, so I was like, all right, I gotta be like extra careful today. But we're gonna let everyone get like tuned in, get ready. You know, just get ready for the nonsense that's probably gonna be coming from over on that end. So we're gonna try. I'm just getting that side just kind of loaded up right now. So instead of doing that, we're going to put for this one. USB Mark II. Yeah. It's this one here. Perfect. And we're going to just bring that down a little bit. Hold on. me fix this up too. Okay. And for some reason, the lighting on this camera isn't the greatest, but we'll make do. I don't know why the video up there is doing what it's doing, but there we go. Okay. Oh boy. Put the music up here. Have you played Split Fiction? No, I haven't. A lot of games this guy hasn't played in a while here. Yeah, it's been wait, hold on. Like, wait. I feel like someone asked me that before. Hold on, let me check. Split. Oh yeah, that's okay. So that was one of the games the new IPs I was actually interested in from the Video Game Awards. They showed that off, and I checked out the Sony showcase, and it looked interesting. So has it been good? Like, even if you play single player, like, has that been decent? Like, I think it was specifically designed for like a 2-player game, but as a single player game, has it done well? Like, did they, oh, sorry, better question is, did they execute it well? That's better, probably the better question. Then let's go ahead and get. Put the Discord announcement as well too. I don't have next gen console, so you can't say anything about it. Oh, well, I mean, for now, I mean, as soon as they bring out the PlayStation 6 or, you know, whichever, you'll eventually, you know, what's nice about this is, like, for those that are willing to wait, right, you'll be able to be in a position later on to take advantage of the sales and everything later on and stuff. So I think you'll be fine. Oh my God, Bevinox, that was really quick. Lethal, what's going on? No, to my regulars that are here right now, Bevinox and Lethal, just so you guys know, you know, I met with a couple corporate lawyers today. Nothing, not a bad reason. Just we're going to be working towards probably an entity change. So we can finally become like a C corporation, so we can get ready for the influx of shares and everything. And ultimately, like, you know, selling all these micro shares that we have been, it's like, all right, the math is getting more complex, and we're just like, you know, what can we do to kind of ease the transition out? And I was speaking with the corporate lawyer today. He was just like, this will be the best route for you to go. You can kind of, you pretty much like, I take care of everyone at that point. Everyone's taken care of, everyone's settled in. And what's it called? We can finally issue the shares and everything. So we're going to be working on that throughout the week and stuff. So I got some other announcements, but I got some more important announcements. But we're going to be, I'm just going to wait for everyone to kind of tune in. I'm just trying to get like mentally prepared for the onslaught that's going to be TikTok. Yeah, Bevinox, I know you're going to be happy about that. It's just going to be a lot easier. You know what I mean? Like, you know, let's say out of 10 million, like out of 10 million shares, 0.01%, right? That's like, you know, a hundredth or a thousandth of a percentage. You're like, what is that? Or hundredths of the percent. You're like, oh, it's 1,000 shares. Oh, and it just makes me talking to CF investors a lot easier too. It's like, hey, we're currently at this many shares at this valuation. When you guys mature, we will issue X amount of shares and you're going to be able to purchase it at this much. Like it makes the conversation so much easier. So I'm doing the math right now. I'm getting the newsletter together. I'm going to make the announcement. I have a couple follow-up meetings this week. So we'll wait on there too. Which makes a lot more sense too. And actually my bookkeeper's a lot happier because when we were selling the shares through Shopify, one of the problems is it's coming through as a revenue source. So she has to bucket that and my tax account has to bucket that as, you know, hey, where does it go? When we convert to the C corporation, the company is issuing those shares, the company is selling those shares. So what's nice about that is it's just revenue. So we can just kind of like go back and like, all right, all of that was revenue. This is theirs. So like you can read up on it. There's no upfront tax benefits for the people buying it, but on the back end, it's a lot easier. So, you know, you only have to pay when you either sell or we give you money. Both positions, which are good things. Yeah, you only pay money when you make money. Only downside is you can't leverage your losses against it. That's the only downside of it, but it's on the books. Draxite, what's going on? Yeah, Bevinox, like, you know this. You and I have discussed this before. It's just a matter of like we weren't in a position to, and now it's going to be part of the money that I'm raising is going to go towards that change, so that we can just get kosher with everything, you know. God, I had to stop using the mouth rinse thing, the oral rinse, because it was doing something wicked to the bottom of my tongue. And I was like, what is going on? And I have no infections. I'm not, my tongue is just like, it's going to be hard today. But let's get on to, let me see who's on right now. Zeke, Jank, what's going on, guys? Nah, it's none of that. I don't know what's going on. Jank, I'm just letting you know, just let Bevinox know we're working towards becoming a C corporation so that we can just go ahead and convert, so that we're prepared for a future, you know, like now I can actually sell a share. It's like a penny stock. I can actually sell a share for 50 cents or $1. You know, and then people can buy, like, so like those individuals that were like, I want to buy a small stake, but I don't have $500. Well, do you have 50? It's like, oh, we'll be able to kind of do that. But that, like, again, that's like down the road. The first thing is, like I mentioned to everyone, April is when I'm solidifying everything. AKA, if I could work on that conversion, then, you know, we'll issue the shares, we'll get everyone straightened out, and we'll go and release it. But I'm working on the newsletter right now. So I have follow-up meetings with the attorneys this week. Oh yeah, ease of business shares. It's gonna be so much more simpler. And rather than doing like percentage math and valuations in terms of like, it's just gonna be straight up, here it is. So yeah, like Jink, Bevinox, all the big people, y'all gonna convert quite nicely into that. So, you know, that's something that you guys can look forward to. So that's, yeah. You know, 5-10% is a healthy amount of share. No, it's the thing is, like, Zeke, you can think about this too. Every 0.01, I don't know how many, I'm gonna go through and have the conversation, but every 0.01 would be equivalent to about 1,000 shares. So let's say I do 10 million at the 5 million valuation. So it's 50 cents a share. So I would backlog everyone from last year. Now, like, you get 1,000 shares, because 0.01 of 10 million would be 1,000 shares. So we would start off with 10 million so that I can divvy up my stake, everyone else's stake, set aside for employees, set aside for, and then this is where everyone would actually vote upon too. Keep this in mind. So all of you will be aware on how things are going to be structured, how I'm going to do things, what will be voting shares, what won't be voting shares, what's going to be set aside for the employees, what's going to be set aside for future growth, like growth shares and stuff, right? I'm going to be working on that. So, like, don't ask too many questions right now. It's going to be once, I speak, like, I got to shop around for the corporate lawyers, I find the best pricing on this, but, also got to make sure we do it right. But this just means once this is solidified, all of y'all who are in the beginning, just like my messaging hasn't changed. Those that come in the early stages right now, the angel stocks, the angel shares, the angel investments, y'all are going to have the greatest potential for growth. So, for example, for those that only bought 0.1 share, so for 500, that converts to 1,000 shares. Let's just focus on that, right? So let's just say we were at 10 million right now, and we decide by the time the CF investors come around, we're like, okay, we need to increase it to 25 million shares or whatnot, right? Let's say even 100 million shares. We'll keep it simple. 100 million shares at $1 a piece. It's $100 million company. We'll just keep it at that. That means we've increased to pull that much. So, for example, like, the way that works, by the way, is it's either straight up we just inflate it, we just add on, or it's a dilution. So if you follow the Facebook movie, which is, fact and fiction, but overall, so for example, let's just keep it simple. I own 50% of the company. Let's just keep it simple at that. Let's say you go from 10 million shares to wanting to double it to 20 million shares, right? When that happens, you go one of two ways. You either just simply double it and sell it. So if I had half of 10 million, I'd be at 5 million, right? We wanted to make 10 million, 10 more million available. So what would happen is, I would get increased to 10 million shares. So half of 20, and then I would still sell then a portion of my shares. So I would sell off 5, and yeah, technically I'd be diluted. You can do it that way. The other way is just, no matter what, you're being diluted. So, it would be a vote, obviously. But ownership shares would get diluted. So meaning is, if we wanted to double the amount of supply and make that available for purchase, everyone would get reduced by half, essentially. So we would issue 10 million new shares on top of everything else. So initially people may look at it as, oh no, I got less ownership than I did before. But the goal of that, and the goal of any type of IPO or its stock splits or anything like that, is to do a major cash injection into the company. So that's going to be like later on. Let me. All right, just went live on TikTok. So this is going to be interesting. So we'll see. I'm going to do my best now that I'm like mentally prepared for the trollers that could come through. I didn't block anyone, so I unblocked. We'll just see. I just got to do my best to ignore them, which I'm going to. I see a comment like that, we're just going to move on, because the people who actually know what we're doing, and you guys know this, like, I've been 100% transparent. Like, it's like I tell you my story of what we've gone through, and people either interpret that as, oh, he's a pyramid scheme scammer, or, oh no, that's like the people who know what, who know what they're talking about, who know business, are like, well, that's the normal flow of any developmental business, right? People who have a limited view, I'm not going to say people who don't know, people have a limited view. They only see like single store owners, or they have had bad experiences. They just like to kind of like cherry pick the information. It's one of those things where the arguments, there's no point in having an argument when think about the political nature of these days, where someone points something out, you rebuttal and say, well, that's factually wrong. And then they're like, no, that's not. And they're like, no, you're wrong. It's just like there's no logical conversation to have when they refuse to listen to any type of logic. So like, with that said, I just got to ignore it and I got to focus on the comments I want to focus on, because the biggest thing right now is, yeah, like I'll put it this way. Like, I don't mind talking about when people are like, what did you learn? Okay. Like, it seems like you've done these things, you've experimented and things didn't work out. It seems like that's always happening, but have you made progress? Have you grown? Or what are you going to do differently to make sure that doesn't happen? Like, people like to just glance over the fact that, yes, we raised money to do projects and they didn't work out. But while we fell forward. We are still progressing. We're still growing. That may not feel like it, but we are. To those that are involved or to those that watch me from afar. And it's up to you. Like, I don't need to sit here and convince you of that. Like, if you've been following and watching and you're actually interested in investing, you're going to make an educational decision, especially the market right now. So that gives a sake there. You really can't be a pyramid. Like, wait, hold on a sec. People actually need to go and what's it called? People need to actually go and research what a pyramid scheme actually is before they just toss it out there. Like, in the political landscape right now, when I hear people like scream I think the worst thing I heard the other day was someone was like, a representative democracy, right? They're like, oh, that's just when the minority and the Democrats take over. I was like, I had to turn off TikTok right there. I was like, is this where we are? Do we need to do like everyone needs to take civics class again? Everyone forgets. I was just like, so like, I'll put it this way, given that, right? People are just going to spew words. They're like, oh, grifter, scammer. It's like, grifting is when you take people's investments to pay other people's and like to pay off other investors. Right, it's equivalent. It's pump and dumping is a different type of scam, but that's the hook to a coin. That was the pump and dump scam. But when people when grifting is when you're like, oh, okay, you promise to pay these investors, or you're like, you want to take care of your friends or your people. You're trying to exit. You're trying to pull money out of the company. So you raise funds promoting something. Then you take those investments, the new investments you get, and then you give it to the older investors. That's grifting, right? That's a no-no. Oh my God, Cass with the resub. Let's go. Thank you for the resub. Really quick, guys, just live check. We are currently live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube right now. So we're on all the platforms. So if you guys are coming by, you guys hear me talking about a topic or situation, I'm just we're just having an overall conversation with, oh, sorry, YouTube is I forgot. I always forget to bring up YouTube chat. Carlos, there you go. Okay, you see, this is why I looked, Carlos. I am not selling the brand. I'm just selling a portion of the business right now. So I spent the last 2 years cleaning up everything, paying off our debts, looking back and reflecting on everything that went right and that went wrong. There were a lot of good things that came out of that chaos in the last few years. But the biggest thing was, working on paying off our debts. So not doing anything crazy of like, all right, we're going to try to raise money to expand again. It's like, no, we need to get everything cleaned up, clean up the operations, and refocus on where we want to go. This industry is changing. So how do we want to change? How do we want to adapt to this changing climate? All right. We can sit here and argue and go back and forth about going over, everything that's gone, everything that's happened in the last 10 years, but that does nothing for the future. We're going to learn from the lessons learned from there, but also got to get ready for the ever-changing markets to get ready for the future. Like, if that's not the conversation you want to have, like, scroll past. C-Dub, stop it. Don't call out my gray hair. You stop it. I don't know. For those that have been following for a while, this gray patch has definitely been like getting more and more solid. Like for like soon, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be like I'm gonna have like a natural Magneto look eventually. The real Ashram. So Cafe 7, it's been slower than we would like. The biggest thing was we had to get the landlord taken care of so that we can prepare for the renovations. So we're at the point now where the cafe space alone probably needs another, probably like at most 200,000 for the whole refurbishing of the kitchen facility. Oh, Andy, welcome back. And Seal, thank you very much for the hearts. Both of you, thank you very much for the hearts. Andy, welcome back. Hopefully today is not as chaotic as it was yesterday. No, but we're going to be retrofitting the kitchen and the cafe space as it is. So redoing all the flooring, new furniture, new signage, building out the barista station, expanding the water line, the drainage line, so all the drink stations can be brought out. Upgrading our cook stations and capacities, so that we can not only offer more food variety, but also be able to service that so much faster. So no, we won't be able to afford, like, just to put in a hood system. I need a hood. I gotta put it. I gotta install additional things to the HVAC. I gotta drill a hole to the ceiling. I also need to install a grease trap, which both of those things, I think the lowest quote I got was like $150,000 just to get that installed and done. Upwards of 200 alone. Within that same budget, I can just retrofit. So just do what I can. And I don't always want to rely on air frying. So we do have toasters like the Mary Chefs, but we also want to get in the Perfect Fry systems, which is a very nice solution that movie theaters and a lot of pizzerias have adopted, where you don't need a hood system or a fryer or a grease trap, because this system keeps it all contained in itself. So it's a self-contained frying system. And so it takes a little bit longer than a normal fryer does. Yes, a little bit more maintenance, but nowadays with a lot of restaurants and entertainment complexes coming and going, these machines 5 years ago, when I was looking at them, they were like $50,000, $80,000. Now I can get them used for like $5,000, $10,000. I was just like, oh, but obviously some maintenance needs to be involved. So I'm going to have to go in there and, doing that. On stocking the Final Fantasy set for MTD, do you think there will be an issue with acquiring product? Yes. It is going to be heavily allocated, like most Magic product is. It is allocated in terms of what you are getting. And I'm going to tell you right now, all eyes have been on Pokemon, but people have been scalping Magic for years when it's sets like these. It happened with like all the master sets and the Warhammer. Oh my God, the Final Fantasy Collector's Commander sets are going to be, they're already going for stupid money. People are already selling those for double, triple, quadruple the cost. And it's just, Magic, please, Wizards, please no. They've already raised the prices too. Everything is stupid expensive on that set right now, because take the already rising Magic prices and add the licensing fee on top of it. And it's like it's going to cost me almost $300 for a collector's box to sell. Like Wizards of the Coast, WotC, I love you. Thank you for the last 10 years of helping me develop my business and everything. But we could be in a full-blown spiral recession by June. Who in the right mind do you think are going to pay these insane prices? But people are. Like, unfortunately, like for those that are coming through, it's the argument that I had with people. They're like, just don't buy scalping. That's how you stop it. Unfortunately, there's always going to be people we're going to pay that price because they want it. The FOMO is there. It's gonna be there, unfortunately. I wish we can unilaterally gather, like, if we could, like, I'll put it this way, if we could, like, mobilize the entire consumer base to stop buying from scalpers and force a market crash so that we can buy Pokemon product on the cheap, and we can do that with Magic, ladies and gents, we can turn over the government. Like that is the level of unity and, like, organization that you're gonna have to do that. And it's just like, oh my God. Oh, the Destined Rivals. Oh, that's not going to be. No one's going to be able to get that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, like, the scalpers are getting smarter. Like, there's a whole group of them. Like, there's like an entire community of them. And like, trust me when I, like, this happens with piracy, this happens with theft, this happens with socks, this happens with scalping. Pokemon Center is going to implement a change. Okay. By their powers combined, multiple accounts, multiple cards, like, they're going to do their best to go ahead and get in front of you all. That's what it is. It's always existed. And the thing is, like, the one thing I'm kind of irked about Pokemon, and Magic is doing this too, and a lot of other companies. And the thing is, it's here. There's nothing to do about it. There's, like, you'd be like, well, with the height, like, with Pokemon doing so well and Magic doing so well, why are these closed shopping? Or, like, why are they closing? Why are these businesses failing? Number one, they can't get the product. And number two, they're not prioritizing the stores anymore. They're not. MJ Holdings, their biggest distributor, can sell to all the big box stores, and the big box stores are always selling out. So that's easy cash for them. They're selling direct to consumer. The Pokemon Center being a prime example of it. Why do we need to put all this money to send, produce and ship it out to these stores when we can literally sell directly to the customers? The amount that they're selling direct to consumer is growing per set. It is growing every time because, well, how do they do it? There's Pokemon Center exclusives going into those boxes. Magic the Gathering exclusives if you buy from them directly. There are secret layers directly by them. We don't, like, they're starting to do things to incentivize people from buying directly from them than the stores. Now, I know people argue all the time. They're like, well, isn't that working against their interest? Because these shops are the reason why the player base grows and everything, right? That's true. WotC's not going around opening up stores. Pokemon companies aren't going to open up stores so that people can compete with one another, do weeklies and all that stuff. But they don't care. It's a small mom and pop shop. Combine all the mom and pop shops around the country. Going to combine and hand Pokemon a blank check like MJ Holdings do, like these rip and shippers do. Like, no, they answer to their shareholders, and they're going to do what's, they are a business at the end of the day, and they're going to follow that. It's unfortunately the reality of the situation. And so for those that are actually listening, if you own another business or someone, it's, again, like, knowing that, like, you complaining and making TikTok videos aren't going to do anything. You can do your best to educate yourself, and how are you going to respond? Bitching and complaining aren't going to do anything. So how are you going to make your store, your operations survive in this? All right, even for collectors, like, all right, knowing that this is the situation, are you going to try to fight everyone, stress about it, or are you just going to take a step back? So many people out there, they don't mind being in the grind, being in the hustle, be going to all the Collect-A-Con shows and doing the trade, doing the daily grind. That's fine. Other people, they just want to enjoy it, right? So they're like, this is not the time. So they'll leave. Like, Champion's Path was a great example, because by the time the Charizard premium packs came out a couple of years ago, I distinctly remember Target sitting on them like week after week after week. They eventually sold them on sale, which is why I bought a second one. I bought a second one from them for half off because they were liquidating them. Like eventually it died. There was fatigue and it kind of reset. And then that's when a lot of people started coming back into it. They were buying packs on the cheap. They were able to get below market. They were able to open up packs. Singles were being opened. They were being graded. Collecticon shows were going again. People are trading. Like it was going up. And then all of a sudden this bubble happened again. And you can either respond in one of two ways. Go balls to the walls, go all in, or I don't think I want to do that anymore. Like, you know, so there's no readiness there. Do you think there is a solution that says, no, there is no solution for that. The only solution is if they like, again, as a collective, like if they start failing, like they are losing earnings, products aren't moving, you know, that's the only way. Like it's got to be like a Tesla level crash. It's essentially what needs to happen for them to be like, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. But until then, they're making hands over fist money, guys. In this downward economy, when you have all these people who are, the FOMO is prismatic evolutions, right? It will be statistically cheaper for you to buy a master set than to try to open up all the cards. It is just like, people don't want to hear it, but I can open the God pack. I firmly believe I can open the God pack. I just need to be able to buy it at retail and I'll open up that money and I'll be. Do you know how many packs you're going to have to open even at retail? Just buy the master set. It will literally be cheaper. I don't have that kind of money. That means you don't have the money to open up that many packs to get every card. I am sorry. Like, I think we've sold between ETBs, the sticker books, the booster bundles. My God, I think it's been. I think it's been literally like hundreds of packs have been sold through here, and no one's pulled a God pack. I've had a couple people open up some SIRs, but we're closed on Mondays. People don't always see we're closed on Mondays. I love when people come. They still see the sign. They look at the sign. They read the sign. And then they proceed to shake the door a second time. It's like, closed. FOMO will never allow for a full shop of scalping, but unless you have distribution being done, yeah, it's not worth it. Like, yes, like I'll put it this way, like even now I got my allocations for the prismatic premium collections. Those are going to be, oh my, I'm not going to lie. I won't be surprised if you start seeing the prismatic premium collections going for almost $1,000. I don't think any will sell, but you're going to see people posting them upwards to $1,000. I will not be shocked if you guys go to TCG Player or eBay, you start seeing them for $1,000+. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll put it this way. I won't tell you whether or not, like a lot of people, I would tell you this, like, I won't tell people whether or not they should or shouldn't open. But I will say this, you can't take what all of these other shops have done. I was open 10 years ago. There are shops older than me. There are shops younger than me, right? Everyone opened at a different time. Right now, it is probably the most difficult time to start a new brick and mortar business. Online is something different. Online, digital content creation, rip and shipping. If you're willing to put in the work, go for it. Brick and mortar is a complete different scenario. I was trying to tell someone, like, with all the rental rates and all the inflationary prices, my rates going up and everything right now, like, this is why I can't be a Pokemon dedicated business, because my base rent, utilities, and professional fees alone per month. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, 7,000 square foot store. I pay over $20,000 a month in fixed expenses. If I was by myself, no employees, I didn't pay myself, just to keep the doors open, lights on, power on, keeping this place clean, pest control, cleaning, cleaning and supplies and all that stuff. $20,000 a month. Base. That means you need to make at least $40,000+ a month, upwards to $50,000 a month in sales, just to cover that. Just to cover that. That's factoring in your net profits and everything like that. So with that in mind, then, like, so if you were, imagine the amount of product that you would have to scalp just to cover that. Like, if I'm only getting 6 Journey Together booster boxes and 10 ETBs, that's not going to pay the bill, right? Especially now, that's not going to. Now, I'm a bigger store, a smaller store, like a 600 square foot store, 1,000 square foot store.
My power.
Anonymous, thank you for that. No, like, if you think about it, even at those rates, even if they were reduced at me, right? A small 1,000 square foot store, like, depending on your area, good luck getting it for a certain amount. Like, you have to like, opening up from the ground up. So many stores are not prepared for those costs, because they just think, oh, I'm going to open up a card store or a board game shop and people are just going to come and it's instant business. It is not. You're going to have to build up your business. That is why most people go the other way around. So, like, when I give advice to people, I'm like, start by making content, open packs. If you don't want to be a rip and shipper, fine. Start opening packs and build a community around you and your portfolio and your collection. And then you can eventually look to open up your own store, like many creators did in the last 5-10 years. That's not technically the wrong way. That'd probably be the better and easier way for you to go. That way you don't quit your day job. You do it at night and you can grind through, and the money you make is the money you make. And you do it from your home, then your rent is your home, not your home and the store. Trying to juggle, like, and what's like, here's the difference. Why you see these online businesses exploding while the store businesses don't explode as much is because, and this is not me whining, this is the truth of the matter. The online stores can literally reinvest almost all of their profits back into more product or themselves, so they can pay themselves a nice little paycheck, and then they can reinvest into more. The stores have a base cost that just goes out the door right away. So then it's up to the business itself to diversify that revenue, right? To have an engaged player base, engaged trading blades, and so forth. Like, you got to do all that. The stores that fail to adapt, right? The stores that fail to do that, like, even if they get a loan, even if they get an investment, the money just goes right into those expenditures and they don't actually grow. And it's a reflection upon myself. Over the last 10 years, when I've received special finance loans or when I've received micro investments along the way to grow the business, the majority of those funds always went to new inventory and expanding. But then, yes, a part of those funds had to go into keeping the doors open, like it always did. Now, it'd be one thing if every time I did that, we went backwards. But thankfully, even if some things didn't pan out the way I'd hoped, as long as you're making that progress, you gotta focus on keep growing, because at some point you're going to cross that threshold. Most businesses don't make a profit for 2 to 3 years. That's just the nature of that's the reality of the situation. If you hear that and you're like, oh, that's a failing business, it's called statistics. You know, if you think that you just starting your own rip and ship channel or a store will instantly make you a profit, there's a reason why over 99% of businesses fail. You know, majority of them within the first year, many more by 5 years, and almost all of them fail before year 10 because of that reason. I'm selling equity stake into the business right now because we're an LLC, but we're working on currently converting so that number one, obviously those, because, you know, when we have that many members, it's just better for us to become, you know, a C corporation to work from there. But then that way too, later on for my regulation CF investors who have safe notes, they can easily just convert later on once we hit that maturity stage. So we're working towards that right now. But as of right now, you can go. I do have shares available for sale. High level information is available on the website. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to come back. I'm more than happy to discuss. I'm quite transparent with what's gone on the last 10 years. Sorry, I have a blister on my tongue, so I keep hitting it as I talk here. So if it sounds like I have a lisp or I'm holding back, it's because I'm trying not to bite on that part of the tongue. But yeah, yesterday the conversation went kind of awry, and I mean, I wasn't expecting for the live stream to hit like, we got up to like 200 people yesterday. I was like, oh God, like I was like, why am I getting bombarded? I was like, oh no, the stream's actually doing well, and of course it goes in front of the people I don't want to get in front of, but it's fine. It's that just meant that the video has been doing well, so there's just that. Nados Reef, if you are interested, feel free to ask questions right now. If you're interested in the specific numbers and stuff like that, we can discuss that off stream privately by setting up a meeting. This week, technically the beginning of next week, this is like the last full week that's going to be available because I'm going to go through that conversion process next month. So there's a lot of things happening in April where that's why I had to stop everything, because close the books, convert everything, get everyone taken care of. All the governance is all taken care of. All of my investors are notified. Everything is done properly. We vote upon it. There's a lot of things that needs to be done next month. On top of that, my wife, by the way, for those that have been following, my daughter, my third child, isn't expected until the 19th, but my wife is already having Braxton Hicks, which is the beginning, the early stages of the contractions. So, but USA Gundam, what's going on? Oh, by the way, USA Gundam, really quick. I know you left in the middle of chat yesterday. I got bombarded with trollers yesterday. If you want to reach out, brother, my email is on the website. I would love to work, but my investments is literally, I'm further expanding upon, yes, so part of my retail section. I am not going to compete with you, brother. Like, I'm not looking to scale up a massive online warehouse like that. We're in-store experience. Like, literally out of 7,000 square feet, 600 square feet is my retail. The rest is play, experience, food and cafes, the biggest part of my store. I'm focusing on the lounge and experience aspect of it. So what I'm doing right now is the biggest investment that we're going to be pushing towards is getting the cafe space done. Because whatever's going to happen is in this economy, food and beverage is always going to be there. And that's one of the biggest growth avenues we've had in the last few years. Even last year, where a lot of other businesses and stores, and USA Gundam should know this too, a lot of stores hit double-digit drops across the board because the market is shifting right now. For us, we fell, but in comparison to a lot of my mutuals in the industry, it was like nothing. And so, yeah, no, if you're interested, I would love to partner up, brother, because your warehouse is like my dream. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, some of my mutuals in the industry who are all in Gundam and Bandai, all in Pokemon, all in Magic, all in gaming, right? Everyone who's focused, right? I get criticized for trying to do too much. And I look at all the people who's single focused. I'm like, I'm a little jealous. But the thing is, I have ADHD. I love all of it, right? I want to do everything. And so for me, but what is my joy? What is my single focus? And it's the hosting aspect. I like to bring people together. You know, I want to make a business where people are having fun and enjoying it and loving it and stuff too. Got to, like, that's my thing. And at the end of the day, like, and I really hope you do email because I would love to talk. It's kind of, I appreciate you coming into the streams. It's like, for me, there's no point in me trying to reinvent the wheel. I should focus on what I want to focus on and put all my energy towards that and work with others who are experts in their field, right? Gunpla and Bandai, clothing and techwear, even the food industry. I have a couple other partners, other food businesses that are looking to come in and potentially we can build something together. I have other retailers looking to come in, and it's like, listen, I don't want to compete with you guys. Like, let me be another avenue for you, right? To the point where even this area here, I'm literally in front of my retail section. This whole station behind me is going to convert into either vendor displays or small retail businesses coming in. So local vendors and artists or national brands coming in to either display or to retail with us. Fingers crossed. I'm working on the Lego. Working on Lego right now. If I can get Lego, I'm gonna be a little selfish. Like, I don't have time to build Gunpla these days. If I can devote a 15-hour build stream for Lego, I'm fine with that. Like with Gunpla, I know how I am. Any kit I do, I'm gonna want to work on it, airbrush it, line it, water the watermarks, and right, unlimited patience for Lego. But with like Gunpla and other hobbies, I gotta perfect it. Even like RPGs, like right now, like I spent over a year trying to beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I have not beat it yet. And the reason why I haven't sat down and played is, number one, I don't have time. And when I stream, right now I got to focus on the business, so I haven't been able to play. I am over almost a year and 1 month, 210 hours. I'm only on chapter 11. The reason is why it's taking me so long. I probably could have beat it last year, but I'm a freaking completionist. I must do everything, explore every single part of the map, every side quest, every side mission, world mission, card mission, every mini game. I gotta get 3 stars or S tier on the. I spent 6.5 hours one night getting the S rank on that damn piano. And what pisses me off is this: those who are playing on the PC version right now have it so much easier because the keyboard is so much easier than trying to play it on that damn joystick. It's so much harder on the joystick because of timing and everything. But when I saw the PC version, click, 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 it's just like, so much easier. So much easier. Sorry, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. We're moving on. I'm getting off topic. Yes, the Lego Pokemon collab. I am excited for that. I can't wait to see. Because the thing is, I've always looked, let's all be honest here. Can everyone kind of be honest here? Everyone has seen the Mega Bloks Pokemon sets out there, right? But I'm going to guess that almost all of you saw it and were like, and didn't buy it. Right? And I'm looking forward to seeing what Lego does, especially after I've seen what they've done with the bird set, the insect set, the flowers, the Disney stuff, like, you know, the Simba set that came out, the Lilo, the Stitch one that came out. I'm like, okay, you know what? My biggest thing is they've done stadiums before. So a lot of you guys know where I'm going with this. My biggest hope is that they actually push. They built the Pokemon Stadium. Give me a 10,000 piece Pokemon Stadium build with full blown battle. Like, it's being battled in there. I want that. I want that. I want that. And I think one set, if I think about it too, like what are some sets that they could do that would look really cool given the mechanics and the sets that they've already released? I think Armor Mewtwo, they could kill it. Armor Mewtwo, they could kill. Pokemon centers, they could do. I would love to see them do Meowth's Balloon. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a great set. They could do so much with this that I'm just excited to see what they do with it. What's my favorite Lego piece set so far? Great question. I think of what I built, the most satisfying one that I really enjoyed of the ones I built. I did build the Imperial Star Destroyer, thanks to my followers here on Twitch. By the way, we are giving away a Venator class Lego set, the $600 one. If you guys follow us on our Twitch, I will be doing that. But the Tower of Barad-dûr, the Lord of the Rings set, I really enjoyed building that. I went through all 6 movies. Sorry, no, I went through all 3 extended trilogy movies, and the appendices to finish it. But it was such an enjoyable build. I absolutely loved it. So they already have made the individual Legos. Oh, by the way, guys, don't think Lego is not also guilty of milking the cash cow. These guys, if you've noticed, they've released, like with Mario, the blind box Mario packs and stuff. The keychains. If you don't believe that they're going to be releasing collect them all Pokemon Lego keychains and minis, blind packs with chase variants, you are foolish. They're going to be releasing all of that, and it's going to be scalped by Lego fanatics. I'm calling it now. That's why I want to get my Lego count. I'm gonna get some of those. Oh, I gotta check that out. Oh, Pokemon Brickheads actually would be cool. I actually agree with that. I think that'd be really sick. Star Wars Junior stuff, yeah. Sandstorm. Oh, Zeke. I actually had a Gundam order earlier, so I gotta order that this week. So I gotta make sure that's fulfilled. Zeke, you've already done plenty, dude. What did you do? No! What? Zeke, what? Zeke bought the Exia. Let's go. Oh, not a reef. We don't. We only have one location. We're just in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. We don't have any other location right now. But Zeke just bought the perfect grade Exia. Let's go. Zeke, are you gonna come pick it up, or do you need to ship it to you? I could just drop it off on the way to Rhode Island in a few months. Oh no, it's huge. This box is freaking massive. This box is freaking massive. This box is freaking massive. Oh, not. You're definitely fine. Shipped, please. I got you. Better get the box big enough for this thing. Of course, the Japanese perfect grades are in metric dimensions, and American boxes are in imperial. So there's never a perfect box that fits this box. Case in point, let me measure. Where's my measure tape? Right? Because the boxes come in every 2-inch intervals. This is 23 inches wide, 7 inches long. 15.75. No, it's fine. So thankfully I can just go ahead and it's a 24 by, I think I have a 24 by 8 by 10 or 8 by, yeah, I have about, no, I bought boxes being prepared for these perfect grades. So I'm good. But Zeke, congratulations. You got it. That was just purchased. Big spender of the night here. Let's go. Now I have to restock that. I do my best to keep one of every perfect grade that I can get, so I will immediately restock that this week. Increment. Oh yeah, no, boxes come in so like usually 2-inch increments. So it starts off with like a 2x2x2 box, right? And it goes up little by little from there, from square to rectangles to multi-level boxes. There's so many. Oh, Nato. So you can kind of gauge it off. So right now I have it based off the LLC. So if you go to the website right now, it's a high level overview. There's also a section to look at what our previous rounds looked like, what the CF round was about. I encourage you to please do your research on all of it. Look at it. Look at our history. I have videos out there that kind of explain everything that's happened. By the way, you're not confused. I do have a video explaining all that. I don't talk about it anymore because I've moved on. It's emotionally just, I don't like talking about it anymore. So we're moving on with our lives. But if you like to learn, it's all out there. And I'll be on here. Honestly, I'll be on here for a decent amount of time tonight. So if you are, this is the last week, by the way, because once again, we're going to be going through an entity change. Nothing crazy. Like we're converting from an LLC to a C corporation so that we can solidify shares for people. We can finally we can just clean up everything, because like speaking with a corporate lawyer today, like I have more conversations to happen. So for those of you who are current investors, there will be a newsletter and a video and a whole breakdown of everything going on. We will tell everyone later, but that's what we're currently working on. But as of right now, this will be the last week to get in the current value and the current, rates and everything. And then from there, we're closing everything next week so that we can begin working on that throughout April and the beginning of May. Get everyone their shares, get everything solidified, cleaned up, boom, done. We're now moving into year 10. No, not rebranding, just it's an entity change. Because I have more and more investors and business partners coming on. 2 years ago, I did a Regulation CF investment round. And so eventually those shares are going to mature. And so at this point, to make sure that, the years going forward, and when we do additional financing, additional funding, we sell additional shares to open up more locations and keep growing the company and brand, it's just better for me to go into this stage now where we can then set aside shares for people to buy later on. So it's just like, instead of doing this percentage game and valuation game, it's like, hey, I would like to get in. Well, we have this many shares available for X amount of dollars. There you go. It's just, here are the voting shares and here are non-voting shares. And here's like, it's just divvied up. It's just cleaned up. And then for my CF people they have convertible notes. They have simple agreement for future equity. So these are notes that will mature at a later investment round. But when that happens, there's going to be some math involved. But obviously it's a much easier conversation for me to have now if I just do the simple math now. So it got to the point where even like my tax accountant was like, all right, you need to confirm. She's like, no, it's fine. But she's like, you're trying to bring on more people. You're trying to sound like let's just do this now. I was like, okay. So we're going through the early stages of it. But for now, yeah, like, for example, I have a 0.001% for 500, right? If we convert it and we just say, all right, we're issuing 10 million shares, 0.001 is 1,000 shares. And there we go. It's just like it's so much easier than saying you know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier than the I had 0.001 of this. It just becomes messy. So it's just like, all right, we're going to simplify this. And actually my bookkeeper was like, oh, this is gonna make it so much easier. I was like, huh? Easier? It's like, yeah. It's surprising corporate governance, how much has gotten easy. And yeah, they're like, are you gonna do it in Delaware? I'm like, okay, there's some controversy going on in Delaware right now. I'm trying to stay away from like there are good standard practices to follow to take care and grow your brand. But sometimes it's more like sometimes you don't want to be associated. You're like, we're not them, but we're not related. It's sort of like you're doing the same thing as another company, but you're like, well, we're not related, right? I feel like as an Asian sometimes, like when I'm out in public and I see like another family acting bad, and I was like, I'm not with them. Like, or like I've gone like when I back in the day when I went to the casino. And you guys, for anyone that's been to the casino, you know who I'm talking about. The particular type of people sitting at the baccarat tables or the pai gow tables. I like to play blackjack, but like this is back. I don't go anymore. But back in the day when I did, these ladies would be going crazy. They're just going like they're going crazy. They're yelling at the dealer. Blah 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 blah. Me and my friend are just sitting there, and then they look at me. They start speaking to me in Mandarin. I'm like, oh, I'm not Chinese. They're like, oh, sorry. And I look at the dealer. I swear I am not with them. And then when I say that, they start laughing. It's just like, I knew you weren't, but because you said it, now I can laugh about it. It's just like, I was like, they don't represent all of us. I swear. The driving part though, guys, ladies and gents, the driving part, the little Asian ladies that drive bad. I've been to China. I've been to Japan. I've been to South Korea. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Vietnam. I'm lucky to be alive today. I rode mopeds and small little 150cc bikes in those countries. I am lucky to be alive. 3 accidents, 2 hospitals, 1 year of rehabilitation. By the way, all free. National healthcare. Oh my God. What a concept. Either way, but it was just like, I'm lucky to be alive today. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Nando's Reef, like, I appreciate, like, I'll put it this way, even if you end up don't doing anything, anyone that doesn't, this past week, these past several weeks, I've been doing this passively for this past year. I got a little bit more aggressive with it during these past few weeks here. And these last 2 weeks are my last final push. But just the sheer fact, if you're just considering it, I appreciate. Right? If you took the time to listen to what I have to say, if you took the time to look at, like, at the end of the day, I ultimately, like, the most valuable resource that anyone has, everybody has, is your time. You have finite time in your life. And the fact that you chose to sit here and listen, engage, and even consider, I appreciate that. And ultimately, whether or not you end up doing it or not, even just simply engaging and viewing the videos, engaging with us, if you follow us on our Twitch or whatever, those matter. Because of that traction, if the viewership goes up, another person comes by, that's another opportunity for me to get into someone else, to someone else, to someone else. So I appreciate that, Nado. Not everyone does. Not everyone understands the impact of what we're trying to do and why I originally started. My mission on why I started has never wavered or changed since the beginning. But it has become more and more difficult. Not more and more. It is just as the eyes on the business keeps growing, the amount of people who either hate the idea or they look at me as some like disdain in the community, like it grows, it comes with it. And the people who don't get it are the loudest. It's sort of like, you know, it says, oh yeah, this week is the last week. I will probably allow it for like the Neon Bar. Let's go. I appreciate the bit donations, guys. Thank you. Again, I'll probably extend it out through the first week of April. Again, it's because as soon as we start the paperwork for the conversion, I gotta put a hard stop on everything. On top of that, my wife could be giving birth any day now. So like for me, like I'm gonna be focused on getting this started. and doing all this. Could you summarize this? I just joined. Oh, Trainers Den LLC. Simply put, I'm in the last round of my final angel investment round. So what it is we ran a couple investment rounds over the years. The majority of it for the first 5-6 years was to grow the business. So you see the video time loop. This is going through COVID, and I made this video a month before we went viral on TikTok. So if you actually want to see the full video, you can actually go on to either my YouTube page or go to my website, gamersheaven.com, and you can actually go to the investment section where I gave a little bit more context on everything that's going on and what that video is about. But why that video is important is I go over my missions and why I started Gamers Heaven and what we've gone through and how we're here, everything about me, right? Talking about it there. That video was made before we went viral on TikTok. So a lot of people who want to say like, oh, I'm just using TikTok to scam people, right? Or I'm just, the success of virality got to my head. I haven't changed as a person. I just now have a voice. I now have an audience to listen and stuff. So there's that there. And on top of that, so, there's that. And there's a lot of other things too. But mainly it's just, giving, sitting here, it's the last week or so before we close everything up. Final push, answering questions, having a conversation, essentially just, ultimately like doesn't hurt to try. Right. And then just see if we can find, either obviously grow the fan base, have conversations with, because a lot of my followers, they haven't seen my videos because like just TikTok just doesn't push it anymore. So, so just working on that. Do you offer any distro associated with being an investor? No. If you're looking to be a partnered business, that's a whole different contract and situation. Your benefit as an investor is you're an investor. Like what's the benefit of buying a share of any company? You now own that share and you're hoping that share value either goes up or it pays out dividends. If you invest in a company in the very beginning or startup mode or angel investing, you're hoping that whatever project or product that they're developing or the company that's developing ends up succeeding in their development and ends up blowing up, because then later on your investment will then multiply with the company, right? So at the end of the day here, like $500 can end up yielding 1,000 shares. Do you think the company is just going to sit here? Am I going to do nothing? Like, is it going to be no growth? Is it just going to fail? Or do you think not only will we succeed in rebuilding, not rebranding per se, but solidify our design in Sandstorm with the 5 gift subs? Let's go. Thank you so much, guys. Oh yeah, for those of you on TikTok, you guys won't see the I forgot I should probably enable this before I forget to. So this is the screen on Twitch and YouTube. So we'll leave it at that. Like, I find it to be the vertical cam is better for TikTok. So full screen's a little bit better. So there is that, but appreciate it. No, thank you so much, Sandstorm. Thank you for getting pretty much getting tonight started. We're up to 6 tonight. So we got 6 new recruits tonight. So that's awesome. I mean, it's the ultimate fancy way of helping, but it's also you have part ownership of the company, and essentially like you're helping us with the upfront cash needs to do, to work on the things we need to work on. But then eventually, in terms of the risk involved, if you go to the website, I have literally a paragraph for you to read on, if you're not prepared to lose this money, do not invest it. That goes for any stock, any investment, any crypto. If you're not willing to lose that money, do not do it. If you cannot afford to lose that money, do not do it. Do not let FOMO take over and put your financial stability at risk. Be the first one to say. And if any one of those places literally utter the words, I guarantee you 100% you're going to make a return on investment, run away and never look back, because every investment is a risk. every investment. There's no such thing as a safe investment. There are safer investments, but they still have a risk involved, right? No matter what financial firm you go to, they will give you a risk analysis on volatility of stock portfolios or mutual funds or certain industries and stuff, but there's always risk involved. Period. Is there a link or any info about strictly a distribution contract? Oh, Trainer said, I'm not a distributor. Let me make that point clear. I am not a distributor by any means. I'm not a middleman. We get our supplies from distributors. We would like to grow into a level where we're getting our supplies directly from Pokemon and WotC, that kind of stuff, and Bandai, but that's a completely different route to take. I mean, with that said, like, if you guys are looking to get in, like, you know, they're opening up accounts left and right these days, just reach out to the distributors. Honestly, a simple Google search will bring up the local distributors closest to you guys, and just reach out and open up an account with them. I don't get enough. Just based off your icon and your logo, it looks like you guys are trying to do something with Pokemon. Like, I barely get it. I don't sell online because I don't get enough to even supply my local player base. Like, I don't get enough to take care of my local demand. So like, I don't have it. Like, I've had people come to me. They're like, I've had rip and shippers come to me. They're like, yo, if I pay above market price, can I just buy your entire stock? You'll make top dollar. You'll make full profit, and we can then do our thing. We'll shout your business out. Number one, I don't want to be associated with any rip and shippers, flat out. But number two, I wouldn't do that because Pokemon isn't our main profit. And if they take what little stock we have, that's less product for our customers to get. And it's not only about taking care of our local customers. It's a legitimate strategy. But like, here's the devious side of me selling at MSRP and only focusing on our actual return customers and our player base. They'll remember that. They come in, and most of my Pokemon nights, Pokemon Day, several weeks ago, I had zero sealed product. Zero. We had over 100 people come out. It was one of our best nights in sales that we had. What the hell did they buy? They bought food and beverages. We sold out of boba. We sold out of certain foods. It was one of the best food nights we had. And they all knew it. They brought their friends, and you know, it was a great event overall. And so that's what we've been forced to. And I rather focus on building that relationship, especially if they end up getting hits, right? I think Surging Sparks was a prime example. We got a small booster bundle restock in, and we were selling them at $39.99. I had a family walk in, older brother, younger sister with their dad. They saw what we had, and they're like, how much are you selling it for? I'm like, $39.99. They're like, are you kidding me? Like, they're like, the shops around you are selling it for like $60, $70. I'm like, this is the price. If our distributors end up selling it to us at market rate, then yeah, I have to raise the prices. But we got these at wholesale. Here's our normal thing. We want to make sure as many families and as many kids, as many of our local community gets these cards and has the opportunity to. I know what that means, especially to what's important about this current generation of players is you have multiple generations doing this hobby together. People around my age who grew up with it, loved it when they were younger, and now their kids are getting into it. So they want to take care of it. You know, they want to do with them. I want to be able to provide that experience. Yeah, Trainers Den, just go ahead and do a local search. I don't recommend, like, you guys could go out and start buying things at retail to hold them because they should go up in value over time. That's what a lot of people end up doing to start. If you want to get into the distribution side of things, you gotta get, number one, get registered, get your resale number. You gotta be a fully registered business to resell in your state, and then you go from there. If you don't have any of that, it's a non-starter. It's a non-starter with any business. So there's that. Mochi waffles. There's plans. I want to get a waffle maker and stuff too. Like there's plans. There's a lot. There's plans. There's plans for down the line. Yeah, and like when people like, again, like, you know, I just said all this and I'm gonna like, I'm glad like the TikTok is being calm today, unlike yesterday. That's my business plan. Like I'm focusing on everything around the player basis, around the communities, the anime community, the cosplay community, the gaming community, all of it. I'm focusing on not just the play space, but the area for building a space where they can come in, spend time with their friends, socialize, compete, trade, buy, eat, watch, whatever it may be. Not a single focus store. Now, with that said, though, I want to grow that. I would like to grow that aspect of the business, right? Now I'm knowing, I missed out in the last 2 go arounds, and if anything, I've been increased demand in the store for cards and for other things. So it's like, all right, I can't ignore that. Let's grow that. Let's solidify this. These guys have been coming back on a weekly basis and supporting us. And let's go ahead and just further grow that and solidify that. And just really make sure that we, not only that, but we round out our lounge model so that we can further increase our food business. We haven't even begun. Why are people investing into the cafe side of the business? We haven't even started getting the cafe off the ground. Right? The coffee side, the design side, the aesthetic, the food, it's only to our existing customer base. We haven't solidified it yet to the point where we're an alternative to Starbucks. We're a legitimate cafe in the space, and it's combining with the environment that we already have. A lot of people like that. Like, I've been getting a lot of people, and this is a weird thing. I've had a lot of people come in on the weekends. I've had a few, like this past weekend, there was a few individuals that came in and started cursing us out. They cursed out the store, and they came out and they left a 1-star review, and I come to find out, I was like, wait, why are you guys so angry with us right now? And they're like, there's too many people here. It's too loud. I used to come at this hour because it was quiet and there's no one here. And I'm like, so you're mad that the store is filled and being vibrant and doing business? They're like, why we held our baby shower here and he cursed out the baby shower. Like, the fuck are they doing a baby shower here for? What the hell is this place? Like, this isn't what I like. This place has really gone downhill. I'm like, I didn't even try to apologize. I was like, you can get out of here. Oh no, that's the thing. Like there are people like that. There are people who will go to stores because they want it to be dead and quiet. They want it to be a private place for them. There are stores like that with those type of clientele. And you will be surprised on the amount of people that have come to me on that. They'll sit there and they'll complain on how we changed and how it's like you're not catering to us anymore. I'm like, you're gonna lose us as customers. And they come back and like, how are you still in business? It's because we cater to everyone else. Like, contrary to belief, ladies and gents, and especially you trading card players and you Magic players, the entire gaming and anime industry does not revolve around you. You are not the center of the universe. I know that's all the stores that have been catering to you all this time, but there are other people in this world. Not everyone thinks the way you guys do. That's my thing, Benjamin. Go to a library. Yeah, for those of you that were at the baby shower 2 weeks ago, yeah. Like I was just, I was doing my rounds, making sure everything was okay, store was okay. Couple walks in, and I just hear the guy cursing us out, storms out of there. And I talked to the girl. I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, well, we usually come at this time because just, it's usually quieter, and he didn't expect for it. I'm like, it's the spring. People are starting to come out again. We're hosting events. We are a business that revolves around people being in the store. If the store is dead, the business is dead. But that's what you want. Oh, and I have another guy that I'm pretty sure I'm going to ask my team to ban this week. Oh, you want to talk about nasty customer interactions? It has been getting worse. Do not, here, let me just summarize it. Just look at me. It started. It's been started. I'm already prepared for it. And then this guy was blatant. Like, I know women, you deal with it all the time with the toxic masculinity, the misogyny, when you'll have male customers be like, where's your manager? I would like to talk to a male associate, right? I haven't had one of these in a while. This guy came in and was just like, he completely treated me like trash. And he was just like, I'm going to talk to him. And I was like, I'm the fucking owner. Like pretty much like I had to be held back. Like I was about to blow up and I'm like, I walked away. And I'm going to tell them that this guy needs to be banned out of here. I don't care. I don't care what he's going through in his life. Does not give you the right to come in and do that. Like, there's other things going on. Trust me. I got bigger things going on. Like there's a reason why I carry around my passport and my birth certificate, because of people threatening stupid things. I'm like, are we really now at this place? Like, compete with me. Don't do stupid tactics to win. I was just like, ladies and gents, if you ever start your own business, especially in the gaming and anime industry, be prepared. Doesn't matter what race or what sex or what gender or what income level, there's always going to be a group or someone or a rival business that are going to do what they can to destroy you. Be prepared. Do not think that everyone in this industry is all lovey-dovey, rainbows and butterflies. There are some nasty people. And you got to be ready for that. You can't be blindsided by that, right? You can't be blindsided by the troll comments. You can't be blindsided by the threats that you'll receive and the messages and stuff. Be prepared, but focus on continue to focus on the individuals that want to be there, that want to support your business and so forth. Because otherwise you're going to be a miserable person every day and you're going to eventually quit like many people do. So, God. Yeah, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Like, yeah, the sad thing of the matter is, like, you know, I had a customer walk in and was like, I have these stores were joking around about calling, you know, when they start going after the Asians, they're gonna call ICE on you. I was like, all right. Like I'm not living in fear. I'm not focusing on it. Like, I'm moving forward with my life. I'm like, I should start carrying my stuff around. So I am. And so it's just like, I'm like, it's just like, I'm just like, are we really like, that's what I like, I don't care what side you're on. That's messed up. Like, and I'll put it this way. I'm more disappointed as the rival business, right? Because I'm just like, if you hate me that much, be better than me, right? It's just like, be a better business. When I open up in other regions and when I was trying to before, instead of being angry of why I'm coming, why don't you start looking in, like, reflecting and ask the questions, why aren't those customers coming to me? Why aren't they coming to my business? I have anime. I literally had that. I think that was one of my, I think the last few years, that was one of the most, I won't say where because I don't want to call out the store, but there was a particular store that did a smear campaign against us. And eventually their local community went to them and called them out. They're like, the reason we don't want to come here, the reason we don't want to cosplay here is because y'all are a bunch of, like, everything, you name it, right? They're like, there's a reason why we don't want to come here. But I have all the figures. I have the food. You guys can cosplay here. They don't feel safe, right? They don't feel safe too. It's not the environment that they like. It's completely the opposite of where they want to be. And their response to that was like, you don't cater to our group, so that's why we want them here. Their response was, they're coming in to destroy our local community, so they can't come here, or they're going to destroy our local community. They're going to destroy our business. I'm like, so instead of addressing these people's concerns of why they don't have a place to go to, or why they don't shop at your establishment, you're doubling down on the fact that you don't cater to their establishment, that you don't cater to their group, that fan base, and that it's about you. It's like, okay. Oh yeah, nobody wants to be in a hostile environment. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, to be honest too, like, I've lost a lot of customers in the last 10 years. I'll firmly admit that. Majority of them being very toxic players. Like, people, there were people who literally, the Magic players that left here were like, you're going to fail as a Magic business, even though I'm not a Magic business, but they're like, without us, you're going to fail as a Magic business. You're not running these events. You're not catering to us. We're all leaving. So-and-so opened up a store. We're going to go over there. We're going to go over here. They left. We have more Magic players today than we've ever had before. Like, we are a filthy casual store. Like, casual commander, filthy casuals, people who just want to sit down, kitchen table, get together with their friends and just relax. I don't run a single modern standard, what's the older format? Vintage. I don't run any of that. They just want to come and hang out. Like, oh my God, what a novel concept. Destroy those kind of customers. No, I just simply say, like, the door's right there. You have a choice. Like, bye, Felicia. All right. I know. The worst is when, like, the people who are there, they complain about being there. I'm like, you don't have to be here. But my friends want to play here. Yeah, they want to play here for a reason. Yeah, that's why I'm okay with, like, bye. It's hilarious to me sometimes. Like, yeah, you're literally not being held hostage. Like, the door's right there. Like, shouldn't you want to cater to me? Not you. You provided no feedback other than you don't cater or give me everything I want anymore. Vixen, I called you back. No, you cannot. You can't text me or yell at me. I called you back. The one time, I know, right? And you can literally sit there right now and be like, the one time you call me back is when I sleep. I'm not gonna be mad. I can't be mad. I'm just saying. I was just like, I called you. I was like, really? Okay, but I can't be mad. Everyone, Vix is in the house, and it is Vixen. It's Elite and guys. They are here right now. Traitor, right, Malorium? Traitor, abandoner. They left us for dead. They betrayed us so much that I drove them out and left them in the middle of nowhere. No, it's good. We've had some good conversation. You're fine. We'll catch up later. I'm drowsy. Oh my God, I'm drowsy comments for the first time in a long time here because of Vix. I see where y'all's loyalty lie. I'm sorry, I'm not some. I'm gonna stop right there. You gotta bust out Miso John. No, it's not the same without Vix here. Like, doing the makeup and everything. Like, it's not the same. If I started to collect Pokemon cards, what packs or bundles should I be getting? Zach, is that? I'm not a hardcore collector, so I want to say like I'd probably be the wrong person to ask, but I would also say this is not the right time for you to start. Or if you're not going to stress about it, start doing your research. Honestly speaking, instead of going around and asking, start looking around. Start learning about the market trends. Start learning about the pumping and dumping that's been going on. Learn to be able to look at TCG Player and be able to see not just a spike in volume, but the spike, you know, the drop in sales. So you know what's up and what's down. Oh my God, let's go. Thank you for the gift sub. Start looking into it and start thinking about what you want to collect. Like, why do you want to collect it? Is it because you just have a general fandom of it? You're trying to make money on it? Or you're like, I really like, I did it in the past and I want to rebuild my collection. Me personally, I have a side collection that I'm doing and I'm collecting Beedrills. Beedrill's my favorite Pokemon. It always been when I was a kid. And the fact that my kids are getting into Pokemon now, so I'm starting to build up with them. So I'm building a collection with them. Unlike me, they have a dad. Like I have a dad too, but I have a dad who knows about this industry and who can help them. And so they're having fun doing it. And for them, they started with their first ETB box, which was Twilight Masquerade. So now they want to collect all of Twilight Masquerade. So that's the way. That's literally, it was the equivalent of throwing a dart to the board, and they picked that ETB, and that's what they're collecting. You know, but for you, like, I urge you to look around and then also look back. You're like, if you want to get into it, like, there are so many creators out there that are literally like pointing out the fact that there's sets that are not being touched right now. Like, if you don't care about the value of the card, there's some gorgeous illustration rares and Pokemon cards out there that look great. I love the way they look. $2, $3, $5, $20. That's why, you know, some of the ones I picked up, you know, they were at that rate and they spiked up out of nowhere. I picked up a bunch of Armor Mewtwo's because they were like $10. Now they're $60. I'm like, I got lucky with that. I just did it. I bought those because I was like, all right, well, you know, boys are starting collecting. They like the Mewtwo EX. I was like, I wonder what full art Mewtwo's are there. So I just did a simple search. I saw these 3 were $10 a pop. So I'm like, oh, sure. And I just sold one the other day for $60, literally just a few weeks later. Like, you never know. So, huge fan of you guys. Been following you guys' journey for a couple of years. I appreciate that, hoarders. Thank you. Bobby Black. Be on the lookout. I'll be releasing a newsletter by the end of the week with a video to explain that newsletter. We're going to be going through an entity change. We're not rebranding or anything like that. It's just, you guys know, it's a common practice to go from an LLC to a C Corp when you have a lot of investors, and you have a lot of people who want to come big and small, and to just manage all that, employee stock options, future sales stock. Like, there's going to be a lot of those things going on. So we're working with attorneys right now. We're going to finalize the information. It should be your email. So if you should have been receiving, emails from investorrelations@gamersheaven.com. Check your spam if you haven't. So if you're a CF investor, lifetime member, LLC investor, all of you are entitled to receive that information. So you should be getting that. I've been releasing videos every quarter. I just released the year-end video finally a few weeks ago. You should have received that. If you receive that, you're good. You're gonna receive the newsletter and the video when I'm done with it. If you haven't, please email us. Well, no, email us. So you can go to our website. There's an email you can send to me. So go to the investment page. My email's right there. Email me. Though you need to identify yourself. So you can't just be like, I want the, like, I've had a lot of people email me, be like, oh, I'm an investor. I demand my information. I'm like, what's your name? What's your address? Which investment round did you do? So I can verify all that. And then I'll send it to you. One of the trollers last night was not even an investor, but he came in last night. He's like, I invested in this company. This guy stole my money. He's a grifter. He's a scammer, pyramid schemer. I've seen all the update videos. He's like, I'm like, oh, you're not even you're not a person. Like, they're a person. I'm like, you didn't put any money in. Actually, one of my other trollers too. There was a couple of them last night. He was a person that invested $100 in 3 years ago, and he acts like I stole his mother's life. Like, did you read the contract? Like, not to poo-poo on the 100, but I'm just like, did you read the contract? Did you not listen to all of the videos I sent going over everything we've been going through the last few years? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I've already apologized. And you guys know this. 3 years ago, I could have quit. If the LOL guys are, yeah, no, seriously, like they would, it's just like, listen, like, I'm not going to talk politicals, but like, it's like the political conversations that happen when someone presents an argument or a statement and they get refuted. They're like, hey, by the way, no, that's wrong. And here's why. And it's just like, oh, whatever. And it's just like, no, you're wrong. And it's just like, are we actually having a conversation here? Or is this just feelings? And like I'll put it this way, last night, for those of you who were yesterday, I got blindsided. I didn't realize the live stream was blowing up like that, because I was like, why am I still getting more and more comments? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, and I looked up, like, so if you guys don't know, TikTok live stream and Twitch and all that too, the chat window take up all of my screen. I'm only looking down, so that's the recent comments. If I glance up, I'm seeing the numbers. And so like yesterday, I was like, oh, we were at like 1015. So I was like, oh, cool. I look up, we were like at 180, 200. I was like, what the freak? It's the first time in a while. So I literally have people, both good and bad, come by, and they're like, a lot of people who haven't seen us for over 2 years. They're like, TikTok doesn't push our videos anymore. So people are like, you're still around? I'm like, yeah. They're like, I thought you died. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, TikTok doesn't push our videos to you anymore, but consider following us on our Twitch channel, please. Yeah, that's what, like, oh, RG Tombs, you were there, so you heard it. Like, you were there. I was just like, I think the biggest telltale for me, where I was like, okay, I gotta stop being angry about this dude, because like I was like, yo, I could have, like most celebrities and grifters and scammers and the pump and dump people with crypto, they start a business, they raise funds, and they dump the stock, or they take all the money and they just close the entity, right? So you just lost out on all your investments and you got screwed, and there's nothing you can do about it. 3 years ago, oh, sorry. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, 2 years ago, when I got to that point, I was like, I could have quit and no one would have blamed me for quitting. But then everyone's investments would have been worthless. You know, it took everything for me to continue the business and sacrifice the last 2 years of everything. No growth, financial stability, just taking care of my family, taking care of our team. Yeah, I mean, sorry, still grown. We actually did accomplish some things in those 2 years. But like he was like, that's not a flex. You not quitting is not a flex. I'm like, when he said that, I was like, okay, I think we're done. like you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, and by the way, if anyone ever runs a business, quitting and giving up on your business is one of the most hardest decisions you can make. No matter what anyone will tell you, you sacrificed everything to start your business and put everything into there, right? Like quitting, like I'll put it this way, quitting is very hard to do. Continuing is even harder, because like in my case was sacrificing more time away from my kids, putting us even in a more questionable financial situation, being subjected to more verbal abuse. Like it was, like I'm gonna tell you guys right now, 23 through the first part of 24 was threats, death threats, trolls nonstop. It was hard, but you have to persevere through it. So this is what it is. By the way, I appreciate those of you, honestly, RG Tombs, Benjamin, and those of you who were here yesterday. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. For me, like, I'm always transparent. My Twitch followers will tell you guys, my longtime investors will tell you, I don't hide from anything. I will tell you as it is on what happened. Yeah, I might get emotional because it hurt me. I have several scars on my back from being backstabbed, but ultimately I take responsibility for all of it. It was my decision. But the ultimate way for me to take responsibility is to continue forward. It's just like any and people like to treat me doing these multiple rounds of funding is just like, they'll come at it. You extended too long and you're trying to raise money to cover up for your mistakes and all that other stuff. And I'm gonna tell you this, factually, their statements are not wrong. I know, right? Like the way they're saying it is like obviously in a hateful manner, but they're not wrong. We raised funds. We presented a project we wanted to do. We went all about it. Like we weren't trying to build the most epic, the epic inventory. We weren't raising money to go all into Pokemon. We were raising money to go ahead and try to build out our business concept, to build the franchises and see if we can get this concept off the ground. People invested into that. People, did that. That project did not work out. Right. And so, boom, our R&D, we got back down to, we were on the ground. We made some progress, but unfortunately we hit a certain fact there. And so for me, it's like, okay, how do we get out of this? And how do we continue forward? All right, well, we want to execute upon X, Y, and Z. So we need to raise additional funds to be able to execute either of those plans. And whatever we raise, we got to move forward with that. So just like any tech company or new company that develops, there's, initial investments to get the prototype going. You present the prototype, you raise more funds. You start developing more and more, and either you run into hiccups or setbacks. So you need to raise more funds. And it's a cycle until it's viable to go. Right. And it was just like, that's the process I've been going through. I never been hiding it. Like, right. I've always been even during the bad times, I'd be like, here's what happened. And here's what we're doing about it. And here's how we got out of it. And here's our situation now. Right. Like he came in acting like I literally killed his mother. And I was just like, I stole the world from him. I'm like, you're going to just literally brush along the side of the fact that it's like we cleared out over $800,000 of debt in 2 years. We went through all of that pain and sacrificed, not just me, but my team and my family and everything. And that's not taking responsibility. Okay. Got it. Like it's one of those videos like, okay, got it. It's like, just continue on. My little brother is wanting to open up a card shop. I think he sells on TCG for Magic. Please have him learn from not just my mistakes, but from a lot of other businesses. I know that a lot of these people who are looking at, here it is, a lot of people who just follow these successful creators, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Because so many creators out there only show their successes. They might talk about some of their negatives, but you're not seeing it in the action. And a lot of these creators are now, they're making videos to promote themselves. So all you see is success, 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 because they started, right? Just like the drop shippers, just like the real estate boom, all these drop ship bros and all this stuff coming in, showing off their monthly sales, showing off their Lambos and all this money. So then the impression, well, people are like, so I just got to put all of my savings into drop shipping and I got it. They're only focusing on the successes and they're not looking at the risk, as well as all the people who have lost, who these people have preyed upon. How do they prey upon the drop shippers? So then you have a new drop shipper come in, they buy all this product and it doesn't sell. Now they need to liquidate to recoup whatever they can. So now the other successful reseller can be like, oh, hey, sorry, it didn't work out. Let me go ahead and buy that from you on a lower amount. They build their stuff up. It's one of the things, that's one of the shady things that go on. But you can't, you don't know, but the sheer amount of people who have failed in that business, who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, their entire life savings, not just drop shipping, in real estate, in crypto, especially crypto. You can be like, well, crypto is up, Bitcoin is up right now, but do you know how many losers there were? Do you think everyone can just sit on? Everyone can be like, oh, I just lost $5,000. I just put $20,000. I put in my entire life savings in and it just dipped and I just hit a life event. Do you think everyone can just comfortably sit on that money? No. But people made decisions based off of their idols, people they were fans of. They You're just listening to the positives and they're not looking at the risks. So my thing is this, like, for every videos that he sees, like every video, every place that he sees these successes, these successful business practices, he needs to do a SWOT analysis. If you don't know what that is, Google it, please. It's basic business term, SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. This goes for anyone. Here's some free business school advice for you guys. SWOT analysis. You should be doing that with anything that you do. What are your strengths going into this market? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities that you are looking to do? What are your threats? List it all out. And if he literally only puts strengths and opportunities, stop him. Stop him right now. If he's like, I have no weaknesses, I have no threats, no, stop him. Stop him. Yamete kudasai. Yamete, come on in. Like, make him stop. Don't let him continue. And for those of you that just sat there, it's like, duh, right? Unfortunately, people like my trollers yesterday, and a lot of people who start especially in the gaming and cars and land center board game industry, have that mindset. For every one card, like, I don't know the exact statistics, but I can tell you guys right now, for every one successful card business or board game business I see, I hear of dozens of stores that have either closed or in the middle of closing. It's Sion, you have a good night. And the thing is, I'll say this too. The RG Toombs and Bobby Black, I say this to not scare you away from doing it. But you need to recognize what the current situation is. There are always winners and losers in business. There are always opportunities. There's always an opportunity to make it. But you need to recognize the playing field and figure out your strategy to penetrate that market. You cannot go in without a plan. And you need to be prepared for if it doesn't work out. What are you going to do about it? What's your alternative plan? So again, it's not to stop you, but it's to have people recognize the threats that you do have. Right now, it is a super saturated market. It is overwhelmingly saturated. Everyone's doing it. You can't get product. How are you going to start? What are you going to do? Like, that's a question for you to answer. I'm not gonna I'm gonna have to charge you if you want me to do a full consultation for you in your business. Why would I? Here it is, right? Why would anyone want to listen to your advice? They should listen, because they should learn from my failures. They should learn from my experiences of what not to do, on how I did things. But on top of that, how I grew. Because if you just sit here, if you just look at me and just see all my failures, and that's why you want to call me a scammer, pyramid artist, or grifter and don't want to invest, that's fine. I'm not here for you. For those of you that see me, given all that over the last 10 years, the achievements that we've been able to do, the things that we have been able to progress on, things that we have been able to grow, things that I have been able to achieve, I didn't just do that out of sheer luck. Preparation meets opportunity. That's what luck is. I did all of these things to put myself in the position to succeed and to fail. But the work that was involved is important. What did I do when those projects didn't work out? What did I do when I was in my lowest moments? How did I respond? That's important. So here, Bobby Black, if you're still here, anyone that's still here, we had pretty much no Pokemon cards in the store. We just had sealed product. We really don't have that many singles. One of my employees had a binder, another person had a binder, but nothing much. So like, what are we going to do? How am I going to get into the singles market? How am I going to get into the sealed market? It's impossible. I won't be able to get all this. Scalpers, product. Okay. How do I take care of my current customers without screwing, like how can I open up packs without screwing over my customers and all this other stuff? Lay it all out. start having discussions with your distributors. Hey, what's my path to grow? Right? And I've been able to get slightly some more restocks and products here and there because of it. Do I have anything left? Do I have anything left over my previous collection? I sold off my collection for $2,000 back in the day. When I found my photo of my old collection, and I urge you, for all of you who've had old collections, I urge you not to do what I did. I looked at my old eBay photos that I had from my hard drives, right, of what I sold. My Pokemon collection was easily over $80,000. If I include the sealed product that I had, we're looking well over six figures. I sold it for $2,000. I had the full base, 2, jungle, fossil, rocket, gym leaders. I sold it for, obviously at the time, I sold it for what I needed it for and stuff like that. But still, you can never know. You guys have no idea. I went through an entire week of self therapy. there was that, but I still went and looked. I was like, all right, what cards do I still have? You know, people have given me cards. My family have, friends have given me some cards throughout the past. Like, what do we actually have here? And even throughout my years, like just doing convention shows, you know, I helped out other businesses. I've been friends with a lot of other card shops, and they're like, I had people who started their own card shops and they gave me packs. I'm like, oh, cool. So I accumulated a bunch that I also bought stuff. So when the market was like down, there's product readily available. I was trying to get my kids into Pokemon last year to see if they wanted to start doing something. I bought them a couple ETBs and a couple boxes, but they didn't really have any interest. Like their friend did. So they were like, oh, Pokemon cards. So they didn't. So they sat in storage. So I go back. I'm giving you guys literally a chronology of what I did, okay? And how now I literally have now, I think after the next set of graded cards come back, I went from having 0 Pokemon single stock to now having about $8,000 in product in the course of 3 months. Holy shit. That's not a bad. I did pretty good. I did pretty good for myself. I did pretty good for myself. But keep in mind, not overnight. So I'm bringing up my story because like I bought all that stuff passively back in the day. And then finally my kids were like really getting into Pokemon. They wanted to open up the cards. They're like, Dad, you bought us these binders and these sleeves and these cards. Like, can we open them? I'm like, yeah, sure. They ended up pulling some SIRs and full arts, and they started off really well. And so like during Christmas, I was able to get a few boxes. I bought some of our boxes too, not the whole stock, but I got them in ETB, booster bundle here, there. They just kept opening up fire. So it was just like, all right, I'm going to trust in the force of my children. But even my collection, right? My collection that I had some old e-reader cards, some basic cards, some first edition cards. Sent several out to be graded. Most of them were decent and stuff. Like it was like 4, 5s, and 6s, nothing crazy. But then just kept going through and pricing things out. And then I found a $50 card here, $60 card there, $100 card there. And all of a sudden it was just like, wait a second, we have something here. Started trading with our customers. So I only brought in my binder once a week because Pokemon guys are here once a week. And then I went through everything. I was cleaning up my basement, cleaning up our storage unit, going through all of our old stock. Found the random gifts that I received throughout the years. So, you know, I'm sitting on 5 XY Evolution sealed packs that just a friend of mine was just like, dude, like, here, man, like, you know, let me give it. Like, this was given to me 3 years ago. Right? He was just like, hey, here, just have these. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I didn't open them. I was like, oh, these are probably, like, at the time, the cards were worthless. Like, the packs weren't really worth much. So I was just like, I'll just keep them sealed and maybe my kids might like them in the future. Eventually, I put them into our winner's cube as like a prize. And then my customer was like, dude, there's like $400 sitting in the... I'm like, what? How much are these packs worth? I'm like, why are they that expensive? And then I also discovered these. My one employee was like, yeah, you ended up getting these Flash Fire packs because I got these as a gift as well. And I was just like, dude, my kids are into Pokemon. I'm not doing anything with it here. Like I gave it to my employee. And then he comes back to me 2 years later. It's like, dude, you know, you gave me these. I still have them sealed. I'm like, when I give you those? And he's like, 2 years ago. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, well, since we're building the binder together, can I just give you these and you can just add to my buy? I'm like, yeah, sure. How much? Like, how much are they? He's like, $80. I'm like, what the? Like, I was like, what is happening here? And on top of that too, like I just kept trading. My kids, you guys were there. The one Blooming Waters box, they opened up a double SIR Venusaur. Out of 12 packs, they opened up 2 SIR Venusaurs. I'm like, I should never open up packs ever again. But just between like just doing it for fun with my kids, just pricing out what I had, talking with my customers, small trades here and there. And keep in mind too, these are customers I've been taking care of for almost 10 years. Not screwing them over, always giving them good deals, selling at MSRP, making sure they get it. That led to people being like, yo, I want to trade for that. Can I buy that? Can I trade for that? Can I give you something for that? And then all of a sudden now too, they're coming to me. It's like, so, hey, Andrew, I heard you're getting serious about cards. What would you be willing to do for, you know, some slabs? And, you know, can I get store credit? Like if I did slabs for store credit, would you still sell me the Pokemon product at MSRP? I'm like, yeah, but I have to keep it limited. Obviously, like I want to make sure everyone has a fair chance. Like, no, that's fine. Like, you know, I'm going to do something for you guys. So like I did store credit 80% for slabs, depending on what they are. And that's how I ended up getting the Greninja PSA 10 and the Eevee PSA 10. Like it was my first major deal. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then some of my cards have come back from PSA. I've gotten a couple 10s back. So hell yeah. The next batch is there with them right now. So it's just like, we have a great start right now. And it's just like this is me passively working on it, right? It wasn't my main thing. Just passively working on it as a side hobby and building it, doing it with my kids, and then getting a little bit more serious about it on the business side. And all of a sudden, like still taking care of my people, but just not and not putting a tremendous amount of resources into it, right? Just passively. I eBay auctioned a few things too. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And I bid. I got a V-Star Mewtwo, like the Mewtwo versus Charizard artwork, right? It was a Japanese one, full art. It was Gem 10 PSA. I won it for $60. I just like sniped it. I was like, oh, cool. And now like someone offered me like 150 for it. I'm like, oh, like, I think if you like, depends on how you want to approach it. People are hyper aggressive about it. People are passive about it. But I also too, like, I'm also leveraging 10 years of customer interactions and growth and stuff too. So I wouldn't have those opportunities if I screw them over by scalping. Like 5 years ago when Champions Path, Darkness Ablaze, and all of that stuff was trending, I didn't scalp it. And so I took care of and all of those customers from back then, remember, they've continuously come back and shopped with us. If it wasn't for that effort those years ago, I wouldn't have gotten this deal. So think about it. Sorry, I just went off on a giant tangent rant, so I apologize, guys. So that's all it is. Obviously, anyone that's looking to invest, the information is available on our website, gamers7.com. There's going to be some big changes starting to happen next month, so that's why I'm closing it out after next week. And pretty much there will be interviews as one too, so you can't just buy the shares and think you'll get it. I'm going to want to meet who you are. NDAs will be signed, and a bunch of other things will be done as well too. And I just want to make sure, you know, you're a real person. This will be the last week. If you have any questions, so Frosted Ember, what I urge you to do is go check out the website first. I have a lot of information on there. I have the link to my old CF round investment that summarizes the first 8 years of the business. There's recap videos and everything. Please go check that out. Get yourself all the knowledge as possible. I appreciate the blind faith. Bobby, the first to tell you, do not give blind faith. Do your research and make sure that we are a business and a company that you want to support, that you want to put your money into and invest into, and that you're willing to risk for. Like, if you don't do that, I'm going to be like, did you watch the video? Vixen, you have a good night. We'll try to catch up on our call tomorrow. We'll do it then. Oh, Zeke, no, they didn't get anything. No, I think they got like one EX, but no big pull. I appreciate you trying, brother. Wait, you've been following Frosted? You've been following since 2015? I've been open for 10 years in Phoenixville. Just making sure. Guys, give me a sec. I'm gonna step away for a sec. Just gotta go use the restroom. So I'm gonna just put this. Oh, hold on. I forgot TikTok doesn't have the main stream up. There you go. Restroom BRB. All right, be right back, guys. You're gonna get some more water too. All right, back. Oh, hold on. Let my drink. Where's my drink? You want to talk about feeling like it's a waste of resources at this entire store right now? We're closed on Mondays, but it's just like I'm literally just sitting in the front. This is I'm sure you know. Really quick, if there's an Arminio here on stream, he asked some questions via email that I actually feel comfortable sharing. Depending on what they are, I can share. I don't mind answering them here live because other people might have the same question. So. I definitely don't. Yo, Frosted, wait, you came from Indiana? God, it was so like the last 10 years are like a blur for me right now. So I apologize if I don't remember, but I appreciate you coming out that way, man. Thank you. Queenie, what's going on? Queenie, I still haven't beaten Rebirth yet. We'll get there. I just thought about that. I was like, man, I still haven't beaten Rebirth yet. And I was talking with Sarah. I was like, because of the way the investments are going, I will not be getting a secondary stream set up at home. The alternative is we'll just I can just set up my laptop and do just chattings, but this stream setup being here, the showcase setup, has worked out so well for both the customers and the aesthetic, and obviously, like, you know, it's the vision for the future, but also our sponsors. Our sponsors been definitely very happy with what we've been doing here, and so cannot take it away. You know, it's a good thing. It's a good problem. I did something so good that they don't want me to take it away. But I got to figure out how I'm going to game at home with my daughter. I'm going to figure that out. My wife is probably busy putting my boys to sleep. So I'm going to let you guys know what I wanted to say yesterday was I've been also actively shopping for a new engagement ring. You're already married? No. Yeah, we've been married for 10 years. The ring I bought her, the ring I bought her 10 years ago, you know, wasn't the ring I wanted to get, but I compromised for it. Like I took whatever I had left and bought it for her. And I know she wears it, but I want to get something because we never had our wedding. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, she is my wife. We are married legally, but as far as I'm concerned, she's still my fiance. So it's 10 years. So this year I want to repropose to her, get a new ring, and then start planning our wedding, hopefully for either next year or the year after. Where if we wait till 27, my daughter can be our flower girl. She'll be like depending on when we do it in 27, she'll be a year or 2 years old, but she can walk down. Queenie, that's awesome. Congratulations. And I know, sorry about the stress. And no matter what, like for me now, it's more important. As much as I want to do the dream Disney wedding for my wife, it's more important that I just have the wedding not just for her, but for my family and everyone else. I think it's going to be more to just celebrate everything. And so I want to, yeah. I have friends in the 501st, so we can still do a Star Wars themed wedding. So we'll figure something out, but it's about time. But yeah, Queenie, definitely congratulations. You know, I expect photos. Everyone that's been getting married in our community, I expect photos. Supernatural themed? Oh, that's awesome. Please tell me the cake is going to be the Impala. Please tell me the cake is going to be the Impala. Oh, that's freaking awesome. That's awesome. You have the Impala coming to the wedding. Let's go. Let's go. Andy Alley, I appreciate your comment there. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, Benjamin, one of my mutuals, Loverish, she did a Final Fantasy VIII theme wedding. So she did a Final Fantasy VIII theme wedding, and freaking jealous of her for doing that. My wife isn't a Final Fantasy fan, but she likes the characters. Like, she's seen me play. I've seen her, shown her a couple of clips, and she's liked them, but she's not a Final Fantasy fan. So if and when we do our wedding, it's going to be a Star Wars themed. She actually doesn't mind doing a dress similar to Padme's. You guys remember from Clone Wars? I was like, yes, I'll do Anakin's robe. I'll do it. And we want, instead of doing his and her side, we would do light and dark, so people can choose, you know, their sabers. You know, one side would be pure red, the other side would be rainbow, because it'll be all the other colors. But it's just like, and it's like, we won't care about suits and ties. It'll definitely be the Jedi robes. We did open my professor. So we held a pre-release this past weekend. He got 9 bonus packs. He got 9 promo packs as for being a judge. So he opened up a hyper rare. I forget what it was. He opened up a chase hyper rare. It's like it's being what's it called? It's trending right now at like $200 something. So he pulled a really nice chase pull. I pulled like all the trainers and full arts for him. He pulled one EX, so it was good. We're not opening up any packs though for the store. We're getting so little that there's no point. I want to make sure as many of my customers get the product as possible. So we'll do that. Like, I may end up opening up one ETB with my kids, and you know, we'll take it from there. But that'll probably be it. Future plans: me and my partner's soon-to-be husband are slightly in the works for a Gundam themed wedding, but you're holding off until next year. Wait. Jig? Which Gundam? If you're going Grandpa Gundam, it needs to be white base. The cake needs to be white base. If you're doing Seed, it needs to be the Archangel. It needs to be the ships. I say you should do Gundam Seed, and you can the dress based off Lox Klein. Like, sorry, no, I'm not planning your wedding for you. It's your choice. It's your choice, your decision. But I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. All these weddings are being awesome. That's freaking awesome. I love your thought process and stuff. By the way, folks, do not be afraid to ask me any questions, even the tough ones. I'm ready today. I wasn't prepared yesterday, but I'm ready today. Mainly, I wasn't prepared to be blindsided yesterday, so I'm being careful. Can't spoil it too much, but the cake has multiple layers. Yes, and Seed is one of them. Jigs, I'm just gonna say this then. You got a layer. If it's layers, wing, burning, or double O are the right answers. We'll see later. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll find out when you're right, when you're ready to present it all and everything. Oh, I love this song. From every volume. Danny, don't start that talk. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't be that guy. I'm gonna tell you right now, any of you who make a comment like Danny, I'm saying this out of love. Don't make a comment like that. Don't talk like that. All right? No need to apologize. When you have that attitude and you put that out into the world, that is the most unattractive, unsexiest thing that you can put out there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You want to be a positive force. All right? Do you think it's attractive when you're just like, no? Be out there, smile, have fun, celebrate, be a positive force. Danny, everyone, I say that out of love. I say that out of love. Exactly, Lady Anoha. You know what I mean. It's always at the weddings. You want to be a positive person at the wedding. Be there to celebrate, have a good time, and then you meet other people. Like, you know, the best part of being at the weddings is when you're single, you're around other people who love the people that you love. So guess what? You already have something in common. Right? Tell me I'm wrong. Well, some people are there. They're forced to be there against their will. That's fine. But you know what I mean. The people who are having good times are people who are friends of the bride and groom and the family. And they love like you guys are. There's a common point right there. So just throwing it out there. You know, hold on. There's a song that I want to play now. Is it in my playlist? If you know this song, you know this song. But I'm just gonna play in the background. Oh, that's awesome, lady. Nice. Yo, Jig, that's awesome. Okay. If we're going Zeta, I can appreciate that. Zeta has one of the best storylines in the Gundam series, so let's go. What's LDR? If you don't mind me asking, what's LDR? Oh, long distance relation. Oh my God, I'm such a dumbass. I don't know these acronyms. I'm so out of it. The amount of phrases and terminology and acronyms I don't know, it's quite sad. I live a sad life. Well, you know what's a good thing about that? If you guys miss each other every day, that's a good thing. This is gonna make the reunion. It's like it's the ultimate expression, in my opinion. Like you can be like, it's the most difficult. No, but if you can get through that, like you got to imagine that, because that relationship is not purely physical. Like, you know, I know there's horror stories of the good and bad, but ultimately the ones that work out, it is not a physical. I mean, obviously there's physical attraction, there's physical relationships, but what I mean is like, but the most of the time during the dating cycle and the relationship side of things before you get married, conversations, yearning for one another, you know, those, you know, communicate, like text communications, voice communications, playing games together. Like you're spending time with the person. Like me and my wife were sort of long distance for a little bit, and God knows I texted her like crazy, like a madman. There was a point in time where she got mad and yelled at me for not texting her as much. But we're good now. Benjamin, great question. Are there plans to integrate emerging tech into Gamers Heaven? Yes. Some of the stuff that I don't mind sharing, minus arcade machines, but I'll put it this way, even current tech, right? There's like, listen, like I'm not a I can't do the Amazon Go stores, right? I would like that. Like ideally in the future, I would love, and this is why I gotta keep raising funds, but ideally I would like to make an Amazon Go hybrid store here. What I mean by that is when you walk into the store, you scan in, and then the store, the people have to be okay with it, but the store is tracking you so that all of a sudden you don't have to worry about like for card players, for example, right? As soon as you walk in, you tap in, you go ahead and you pick a spot, whatever. You get hungry. You get up, grab a drink, and sit back down. You grab a bag of chips, sit back down. Oh, you need a pack of cards. You grab the pack of cards, to sit back down. You grab a booster box or you grab the deck box. It's just all loose. You just grab it and put it back down. All while the system is keeping track of what you're doing. It lowers the amount of interaction. Like, no, it saves that unnecessary time so that our employees can purely focus on customer experience and supporting them rather than them having to wait in line and stuff. Like, that's like next level later on. I think that'd be cool, but hold on a sec, guys. No, that's not it. Oh no. There we go. Sorry about that. But no, that would be something like, for me, like AR, like augmented reality, AI integration. Like, I'm not against it. Robotic vending machines and all that kind of stuff, I'm all for it. That's definitely down the line. Having an automated process, expensive upfront, does save on labor, but it's not like I'd be cutting labor. I want to hire people. Like, for me, the people I want working here are the people who love this industry, and I want them to focus on supporting and taking care of the community itself. Right? I don't need someone to stand there and ring people up. I want someone there to be there to help them out with the project, help to find what they need, help them take care of an event, teach them how to play games, introduce them to different anime, and just interact. Why maid cafes are so popular in Japan. But no, it's to focus on that experience side of things, you know? And so that'd be my biggest thing. And so I'm not afraid of robotics or integrations. I want to do that. In the short run, though, some of the technology integrations I want to do that are available that I can technically afford. One of the things, self-order kiosks. I can't afford to have an extensive staff in the store. So having anything that could help alleviate some of the congestion, whether it's ordering or food production or whatever, I want to integrate that. Increasing the cooking capacities in our kitchen facility. So I brought up earlier things like the Perfect Fry system, where, okay, I can't afford to put in a hood system, fryer, and a grill, and the grease trap. So the Perfect Fry system, it's an expensive solution, but then it solves that problem. And now we can increase not only the quality, but the turnaround time of cooking food for our customers. So you increase the efficiency. Setups like the one I'm sitting on right now. This is our partnership showcase where we're showcasing what our brand sponsors like Corsair and Elgato have sent us. So customers can come in, experience their PC layout, their different variety of keyboards, the different streaming equipment, and be able to experience for themselves whether or not they want to shop. And that's like the next level of shopping in my opinion. So you go to Best Buy, sometimes they have like a demo keyboard out for you to go ahead and try out, and you're like, oh, that's nice. And you're still kind of like, but you're still standing there like you've listened to the reviews, you've researched online, but ultimately at the end of the day, every device is different. Every device is different for each person. So why not take that to the next step where our community members can come in and get the full experience? Go in, log into your game, play it out. Go, it's like, does this actually fit your need? Do you need this mic? Which headphones are good for you? What's your budget? What's the best setup given that budget? And so you're not wasting your time buying something, returning it, going back and forth, and doing this song and dance right off the bat. You pick up the things you need and you're going, right? like saving time. So like at the end of the day, no, I won't be able to compete with Best Buy. I can't compete with Amazon, but what can I do? And I can provide a space where companies can actually work with me to build a boutique style area to give their clientele, their core target audience, the best possible experience possible to get exposed to their product, and then ultimately share that. Like, while word of mouth is not the sexiest thing in the world and it's not the most viral thing, but it's like they're going to recommend to their friends and they happen to be a creator. Now they're making content for it as well too. So it's just getting it out there. And thankfully, like the brands that we are working with currently, they've really liked that. They really liked it. They want to change our monitors and our desks because right now it's two off-brand monitors and it's an IKEA gaming desk. So I'm working on getting the rest of the equipment that I need, including the desktop, but we're working on it. They do not have VR headsets, but one of the things I want to work on is getting the Corsair gaming gaming desktops. So getting their desktops and using their desk rig. How good of a VR station can we get? Because I do owe you guys VR horror. For those of you guys on Twitch, I do owe you guys some VR horror sessions. I'm gonna need like I'm gonna need like plexiglass in front of me so I don't destroy my equipment. And definitely get warranties on the headsets because they're gonna go flying. Yeah, but I want a fully integrated business like Benjamin. Like if they brought out something similar to SAO, like the Nerve gear, I'll be one of the first people to get it. I don't care. I'll sell IV bags and, you know, we'll have bedside nurses ready available so you can be in the world of Aincrad all you want. Just got to pay me several $100,000 a month and you got it. We'll take care of you. This is where the capsule pods really come into play. I'll literally have like the Matrix in here. How do you fund your business? Oh, in there. And it's just like a tunnel of tubes with people inside of it. It's like, so you're the system? I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, Zeke, lifetime members still get half off. IV bags, buy one, get one free. Oh my gosh. That'd be absolutely amazing. No, I know they were joking about it, but I feel like they'll eventually. Aaron, it's not the nerve gear, but they've been working on it. The Japanese have been working on some amazing feats. Some disturbing feats as well, too. The robotics industry has been motivated by two polar opposite things. One side is Gundams. And I'm going to leave it to your imagination what the other one is. Do not type it in the chat. I will ban you right away. But you know what the other side. It's bad. It's disturbing sometimes. No, Benjamin, I said don't say it. Don't say it. Don't put it out there. Don't put it out there. But yeah, that's... I said not to say it, but you did. Oh my gosh. But all of this stuff, right? Everything that we're talking about, not that. I'm not getting into that industry, but everything else, that's what I'm working on. For those of you sitting here who are still confused about what I'm trying to do, I don't joke about it when I say I'm trying to bring Japan to America. Not everyone's going to be able to go to Japan to experience the experiences that they have created and they have done in that lifestyle. And so if I can bring even a piece of that here, I want to do that. Everything from the shopping, the gaming, the eating, the entertainment, the consuming, the reading, everything. I want to bring that here. Like, that's been my main mission. What's the business plan around that? That's what I've been working on. You know, I know that might not be the best like plan going forward, but that's the problem I'm trying to solve. Cards, inventory, technology, development, all of this is a means to an end. I'm not trying to be the best card shop. I'm not trying to be the best figurine store, board game store, or cafe. It's not even all of the above. Second home, third place. Now more than ever. People need this place more than ever. Oh, man. We're 2.5 hours in already? Damn. Oh, it's already 9 o'clock. Oh, dear. Oh, well, Zeke, thank you for being the one purchase tonight. You obviously got like the biggest thing you could purchase. Zeke bought a Gundam today. Would actually people be interested in like purchasing? Like, so I do have one Gundam beta pack that I sealed everything. I put everything into sleeves because these are the beta edition cards. Would people actually be interested in purchasing these? I did the Lox Klein cards. I do have some of the LRs, so like IL Strike and Gundam Wing LRs. Gundam. At this point, for me, I gotta make as much. I gotta, like, for me, I can't hold back. We gotta sell anything and everything that we can. We get through. Yeah, so I sleeved up all the cards and stuff too. So. Yeah, unfortunately, no special illustration. But we got like it's the alternate art, but not the super, like the LR plus. Aaron. If this is your first time, I recommend doing like a tour group. Because depending on how much time you are going for, you want to maximize your trip for the first time. It's like getting a teaser of everything else. It's usually the second or third time around, I would recommend you start going to more the countryside. You start exploring on your own and doing everything. For me, I worked there for I lived there for 6 months. I worked there for a month. I worked as a bag seller in Akihabara. Oh, that's the story that I haven't really told much. Yeah, I stayed after my school program, and I went afterwards, and I was like, wait, because I saw foreigners, I saw American people working at Akihabara. I'm like, how'd you get a job? It's like, well, they get a lot of foreigners, so they need translators. So here I am, and I talked to that guy many times, and he was like, I'm leaving, and they're going to need a replacement. So if you want. Pays decently well. They have apartments here, so I stayed a little bit because I had my visa allowed me to stay for another month or so. So I was like, why not? Sold some bags, got to work in the industry for a little bit, and it was one of the best experiences. Sorry, I'm just I miss being there. Oh geez. Thank you for the follow. Let's go. No, I forgot about that memory, and I just miss being there. I wanna build that here, but I just. Oh, Mystics, thank you for a first time chat. Unfortunately, I won't be at GalaxyCon Richmond this year. Hopefully next year. We're still easing back up to doing convention shows and everything right now. So we got a select few for this year. If our strategy works out this year and we're able to honestly be in a much better position by the end of the year, we'll do a lot more shows next year. But I will not be at Richmond this year. We went a few years ago, and I've been always wanting to go back, but just timing hasn't been great the last 2 years. So hopefully this is the last year that I won't be going. But I've always wanted to go back. I've always wanted to go back to Japan, but ever since I came back, graduate school, life happened. I was never really able to afford to go. And even now, like, I can't just leave my wife and my 3 children to go to Japan on a fun trip. I need to go with them, and that's a hell of a lot more expensive to go with that. And you know, part of my, like, I'll put it this way, like, to let you guys know, part of my goal was, like, with the American Express card and our points cards, you know, when we started the franchise process, I was like, yo, how great would it be next few years we just keep revolving this, rack up the points, and then few years from now we can just use the points to all go to, I can take me and the team and we can all go to Japan to do a research trip, because most of my team, honestly, like the vast majority of them have never been to Japan, so they don't know exactly what I'm trying to build. Gadget Guy, thank you for the gift sub. Let's go. It's so hard trying to explain to people exactly what I'm doing until you experience it yourself. That culture, the work culture, the community, the people, the design, everything is just different. And that's what I'm trying to bring here. And I want to go back. Like, that's one of the ways I want to do is, I know me and my wife have always wanted to go visit Tokyo Disney. So I think that's going to be like, we're going to try combine those 2 trips somehow one day. And, you know, that's essentially the direction we'll have to go. So, you know, we'll see. You know, we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. But I'll put it this way, it's actually very easy for those that have been to Japan. It's a much easier conversation to have about what I'm trying to build than those who haven't. And for those who haven't, it's literally just those that have yearned for it, right? Is what I'm promoting, and, you know, obviously promoting to. Love your MX plat points, but I will probably switch to the Plum card, so I have 90 days out. You know, that's refuse. That's like, I've had to use the points to, you know, help with the credit card statements and, you know, bill credits and stuff like that. You know, fortunately, I've had to use it for other means, and you got to do what you got to do. Like, you know, when you run the business, you do what you got to do. And I feel for the people who, and you're seeing it now. I'm in the business side of TikTok. So for those who haven't seen it, more and more businesses are struggling right now. You see it. And people love to point to, oh, they overextended. They like to point fingers and just judge. But, you know, they at least had the guts to go for it. And right now, this economy, the people who started in the last 5 years are the ones struggling the most right now. Not all businesses. No, there are businesses who have succeeded, but the majority of businesses who have started in the last few years are extremely struggling right now because the economy is shit. People's discretionary income has gone down. Our costs have gone up. The cost of doing business has gone up. No one is lending money. So you have to special finance everything. And you have these stupid, ridiculous interest rates and stupid payback terms that unfortunately you're forced to take because no one is willing to loan you money or refinance. And so on one end, yeah, it's easy to look at a business and just judge them for what they did. But it's just like right now, like everyone's hurting right now, you know? And like the faster we understand that, the better. But at the same time, in that same breath, as a business owner myself, I can sit here and bitch about it and complain, but that's not going to do anything for me. In the moment, I got bills to pay. I got employees to take care of. I got a business to continue growing, not to just survive. I need to continue innovating and growing. So what can I do about it? And again, like I've repeated this for this past week. But that's the position I've chosen to take this past year, especially these past few months. There's nothing I can do about all of that stuff. What I can do right now is stay true to my morals, my values, and do my best to adapt and keep going here. And that's why these past 2 weeks, I've been, I put it out there. I'm like, I might as well try. I know a lot of people are struggling right now, but for those that potentially may be able to invest or help out, I might as well reach out and try. And yeah, if I had to take the verbal abuse like I did yesterday, then so be it. Like I'll put it this way. I knew that was going to happen at some point. I just didn't expect it to happen yesterday like that. So I just got blindsided, but we're here. So that's what it is. Yeah, no, it's rough, but you got to do what you got to do. It's like, what sucks is this, like right now, we need more money to make more money. You have to spend money to make money. You have to pay the bills. You got to pay the rent. You got to pay the loan payment so your business can continue. The moment you cease your business, you lose all your opportunity and chances to get out of the situation you are in to grow. It's like, if those are like, you should just stop purchasing things. I'm like, I'm sorry, do you not know how businesses work? We need product and services to sell. We need to be able to get those materials and such to then either make our product, to sell a product, to churn a profit. But damn, everything's gone up. I think the worst, I brought it up yesterday. The worst thing is like, there's a $35 figure that I pre-ordered, in quantities. So for selling, $35 figure we get for $20. We make a $15 profit. So pretty healthy profit. But typically after the processing fees and shipping costs, our costs end up being about $25. So we make $10 on a $35 statue. Now with the tariffs, that same figure has now become over $30 in costs. Because on top of the tariff, more administration fees and other things too. So now a $10 profit has become a $5 profit unless I raise my prices. And now, I'll put it this way, a luxury good that doesn't sell on a daily basis just has become that much harder to sell and to justify. And that's going across the board. And it's just like, but again, you have to adapt into that. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I'm raising funds, yes, to help grow our e-commerce business, to grow our inventory, but most importantly, to enhance and finally finalize our in-store experience and show that to you guys. That's the main thing. And whether or not we do it with or without your help, whether or not we raise the funds or we don't, we're going to move forward. We have done this for 10 years now. That's the way we've been. I'm not afraid of change. I get criticized left and right for changing the store all the time, for trying new concepts all the time. Like you're always, it's on one hand is, oh, he doesn't have a solid business plan, which is why he's changing all the time. And what I'm doing is I'm always identifying areas we can grow, areas we can improve upon, markets that we haven't tapped into, and I'm evolving towards it. Period. So it's just like, Refuse. It's just my building and utilities and professional services like dumpsters and like obviously because we have food, we have professional chemicals, and obviously pesticide as well too. So you know, pest control. It's 20 grand a month. So 20,000 a month to maintain my store as is. It used to be about 15, but then everything went up over 33% in the past year. So now it's about 20,000 a month to maintain the store. Flat out. When you tap in, and for those of you who've been investors, and you guys know too, when you factor in those aggressive loan payments on top of everything, down market, increased costs, and us in the middle of adapting, there's a reason why every month's been really hard. You know, the store is covering itself, but when it needs to cover everything on top of that, you know, that's a whole different situation. And so, you know, we are working on getting rid of that. We're almost done. And yeah. And yeah, but I refuse to wipe. That's why it's, that's why we don't put all our eggs in one basket. Right? I don't listen to the trading card bros or the trading bros or all these other bros making all this content online and the toxic Magic players or Warhammer players. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Pokemon is not the saving grace. You know, like I would have had to sacrifice years of our lives and our finances that we needed for other places just to build the inventory that we, could capitalize on now, but that was completely unknown a few years ago. And right now for me, it's just, you know, having that diverse product line, the events, the clientele, our food and beverage sales have been the saving grace. Like the fact that given the increased cost that I only fell 15% year over year. So 23 to 24, we fell, but we had literally no inventory. And we weren't doing anything with the store because we're paying off our debts. So while it was down, it could have been far, like we actually had more customers come through, but we just didn't have anything to sell to them. And we were just like, we literally could have done ultimately, we did very well last year, given what we had. While a lot of my mutuals in the industry fell like 20 to 60, 80%, some declared bankruptcy and they've closed officially now. These are people that had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of inventory. The market's just crashing. You know, people are getting more selective with what they're purchasing, right? Not everyone has an unlimited figurine, statue budget, you know, space in their apartments or their homes. So people are hunkering down right now. I appreciate that, Refuse. You appreciate that, man. You take care, dude. Backlog just posted a photo of a little bit of my. I can't even take a look at it. I can't. What's it called? I can't look at other people's Gundam backlogs and not fear my own. Because I've been accumulating my Gunpla for 10 years now. I have not built a single Gunpla in 10 years. Oh, it hurts. I haven't had time to. It's so sad. Mariki Painter, what's going on? Buttons, what's going on? Good evening, guys. Thanks for coming into the stream. The struggle is real. The food side of the business has been steadily growing. Also, welcome back, Jungle. Good seeing you, brother. Oh, Jungle, by the way, did the Miku get to you all safe and sound? I've been meaning to ask that. I know it got delivered, but nothing was broken. Everything was good. Good. All right. I gotta make sure I send you completed waifus. No, the food side's been our saving grace. I honestly, like, it's the one thing I'm disappointed on is I wish. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. When I saw it, I was like, damn. No, the one thing I'm disappointed on our food sales is I wish we could have done the cafe last year. Because if we completely renovated the cafe like I hoped to last year, I think we would literally be having a different conversation right now. Because I think I'm more than confident the food sales could have easily tripled. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, with our food sales right now, we have barely tapped in to the local marketplace. Like boba could easily be at least 4x the amount, the volume we do now. We just haven't it's not marketed fully well. It's not, the photos we take of the cafe space doesn't scream boba tea and cafe shop. So we got to make those changes. But unfortunately, that cost dinero that we didn't have at the time. The money that we raised, we ended up settling up with the landlord so that construction, because he's taking care of the construction side, which is almost in itself $50,000 to $60,000 in terms of the demo and the water line extensions and sewage extensions and everything. But the barista stations, the equipment, the tables, and all the furniture, that's on us. So we can't just do this and have exposed pipes. Like we got to do it all at once. So we've just been waiting, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. Yeah, no, NTD, I would love to get to the point where I'm building on stream while doing the conversations. I would love to get to that point, but I'm a person that can't talk and cut at the same time because I will end up cutting myself. I do that with Legos because I have ADHD severely. I will hyperfixate on what I'm doing. That's happened with our Lego builds where I'm like blah 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 blah, and then 1 hour. Oh, sorry guys. Like I know myself. But build streams to come soon. Like that's one of the changes that we do want to do. Like in terms of community build nights, anime nights, game nights. Like we want to start being truly a variety channel where you guys can look forward to different things every day when we do come on and stuff. So that wouldn't work here, Taffy. Where we're located in the street, that's not. We'll focus on Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram ads and local marketing campaigns to get that going. There's enough people here who hate Starbucks. They want an alternative, so we're gonna work on that. I wish I knew what was going on with those blisters. Oh god. All right, guys. No, I have if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, same thing. I got some blisters on the side of my tongue and it just keeps grinding against my teeth, and every time I talk or I chew or I swallow, and it's getting bigger and bigger, more and more aggravated. It's getting more painful. And on top of that, like below the tongue, the bottom of your mouth, the flaps down there, everything down there, it's just like everything's just like swollen. So I'm just like, what is going on? I've done the oral rinses, the hydrogen peroxide rinses and stuff like that, but they were actually making it worse. And it literally says if it's inflaming and getting worse after using this, do not use it anymore. So I'm really hoping this goes away, because talking and eating has been, that's why the last few days I've ended early, because I come in after, like, I'll do the rinse once a day at least to clean out any infections, but the numbness disappears after a little bit, and now it's like gone. So like it's starting to hurt now. So I think this, like, I know I'm only 3 hours in, it's Monday night, but I think we've had the conversations we need to have already. I think everyone who already came in has come in. We will go ahead and try again tomorrow. I actually have a meeting tomorrow at 5 with a person who's coming into the store to have a meeting. So I'll meet with that individual and, see how that goes with the conversation. And, I'm really hoping. Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't have to deal with. Oh, Jungle Scorpion. For those that just joined that are current LLC members or CF investors and lifetime members, I'll be working on getting a newsletter out by the end of the week or early next week, as well as a video explaining the newsletter. But essentially right now, we are working on to simplify everything. We are working on converting to a C corporation. So no, the business isn't changing. We might update the name to officially Gamers Heaven Corporation instead of GH Franchise as a DBA. But the C corporation is the big thing. So that we can finally just issue shares. And then for all the people who bought, micro shares and 0.01 equity stakes and stuff, it's just going to be an easy conversion so that everyone gets it. It's actually much more simpler to govern and to manage everything. And so with that said, so again, numbers aren't set and everything like that. We're going to work out everything with the attorneys. There's a lot of work ahead. That's why next month is very crucial, because other than my daughter being born, next month is going to begin that process. That's why I'm cutting everything off, because yes, we do need it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, yes, we could. It would be very helpful, and we go into April. That's why the 50 was my goal, because then April is fully taken care of. We're going in with semi full strength and we're ready to go. But whether or not we have it, we have plans to proceed forward either way. So technically next week would be the last thing, but I'm trying to wrap things up by this week, because my wife she's already having Braxton Hicks, which is, for those of you who haven't had children before or know of it at least, it's when it's like pre-contractions, like my wife's she's getting ready essentially. And so that's like the early warn. That's like red flags right now. Any day this could happen. So right now, my window of being able to do these conversations and have these streams has tremendously shrunk, because I cannot be 30, 40 minutes away from my house when my wife goes into labor. And when the contractions start to come closer, I cannot. So I gave myself to this week, but even this week is like even today, I was like, is it happening? So that's kind of what it is there. And so, sorry guys, I'm like mixed emotions, everything from the business to family. It's just like, oh my gosh, things are about to go. My world is about to turn upside down next month. But I guess the biggest thing for me is just really quick. So Jungle and anyone else too. So for example, again, this is not final numbers, but let's say we just say we're gonna just convert to 10 million shares. Let's just keep the math simple. So if we convert to 10 million shares that we're gonna divvy up between angel investors, voting and non-voting, employee shares and so forth, and future sellable shares. So if you bought 0.01 of 10 million is 1,000 shares. So something to think about. Like, so, and now it becomes a different conversation as we move forward, because we're gonna move into additional rounds of funding, and there's going to be different levels to all this, and so it will then give the opportunity. Pretty much everyone that comes in by this week and next week, you will have the greatest conversion rate compared to anyone else. And when stock splits happen and we start increasing the pool to get ready for additional investors and stuff, like, you guys get the greatest benefit from that. If you believe we're going to continue that direction, like, do your research on that. We will be going to C corporation route though. Does anyone have any questions before I get going here? Like, I don't mind answering a few more, but if we're good, we're good. If anyone has any other questions regarding that side, that's what I'm here for. And then we'll go for that. I was going to raid Lloyd, but he's currently playing with some other people right now, and he's already got over 300 people watching. So I'm like, all right, they don't need me. Angora's playing right now, so I think we're going to go ahead and raid Angora. Have a wonderful day. I hope it gets better. I appreciate that, Dark Pie King. Yeah, it's like, you guys, I can't really hide it. Like, you know, it got worse. Like, you guys saw me in the beginning, I was fine, but like, it progressively got worse throughout the night. I was like, ow, ow, ow. All right. Well, if we're good, Zeke, thank you for being the purchase tonight. We have a long week ahead of us here. We'll get through it. So let me put this up. God dang it. Oh, she is playing Monster Hunter. Okay, I thought so. I appreciate it, Jank. Yeah, sorry. I hope it just, maybe I just need sleep. No, the Gundams will be unlocked as we do, like as more investments come in, we make some more sales and we hit our next goal, I will unlock some of the Gundams, but for right now all of them haven't been unlocked. But it pretty much, like, I like to keep the giveaways a good variety, so I want to keep it like, you know, between figures, TCG, so that everyone has something that they're interested in and stuff too. Oh, it's what I have on hand. It's what I have on hand, and then obviously things I do purchase as well too. So there's that. But all right, guys, for those of you on Twitch, give Angora all the love in the world, guys. Thank you for supporting her, and appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then TikTok,